And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the free live stream that we do every other Monday here for people who are members of Men of Action or people who consider joining Men of Action or dudes who just want to come on here and talk shit about me. You guys are also welcome to come on as well. We take all comers on the Mondays here on the Monday calls. So I'm glad to see everybody here joining us. A lot of crazy stuff to talk about. Obviously, if you guys saw Access Vegas this week, we had a long discussion about what was going on with Dr. Andrew Huberman. I'm sure a lot of people here have a lot of opinions when it comes to Andrew Huberman. It's something I'd love for us to talk about, just because I think it's one of the craziest things ever that an unmarried man had an article written about him on the front page of the New York Magazine because he was seeing six girls at the same time. Hey, put a one in the chat, fellas. Put a one in the chat if you've ever seen more than one girl at one time. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you've ever dated more than one girl at one time. Is there anybody else? Is it just me? Am I just a son of a bitch? Is it just me? Is it nobody else? Oh, I see some ones in the chat. Okay, cool. Now, here's another thing. Ready? Put a two in the chat if while you were dating a girl, you were exclusive, and then maybe you broke up and you were unexclusive. Maybe you were exclusive again or something like that. Have you ever had a relationship where it was exclusive, then it wasn't exclusive, or it wasn't exclusive and then it became exclusive? Has that ever happened? Put a two in the chat. Has that ever happened to you in your life? You're telling me that you could actually be exclusive with a girl and then later on not be exclusive with her and you might see someone else? Ready? Here we go. Put a three in the chat. Put a three in the chat. Is if you've ever gone out with a girl and on the first date, she just didn't need to know who you were fucking. She just didn't need to know all your business. Put a three in the chat if that's ever happened to you. You're just like, maybe, let's get to know each other before I tell you whether or not I want to see other people or not. Has anybody ever done that? Oh, it's not just me. I'm not the crazy motherfucker here. Cool. Awesome. Get ready. They're going to write another article about me on the New York Magazine. That's what's going to happen next. Okay. Shit is crazy. If you guys want to have a discussion about it, we can definitely do that. I think it's nuts. I think Andrew Huberman has some great advice when it comes to cold plunges, sleep. Dude, he's got me changing my sleep schedule, getting sunlight in your life, fucking treadmills, and all the people who are bitching about him. You notice one thing about all the people bitching about him? You know what it is? They're all fat. Go look on TikTok. Are the people bitching about Andrew Huberman? Big old jiggly turkey chin and shit. And sitting there talking about, he's telling me I have to get on a treadmill and stop drinking alcohol. Yes, because you're fat. That's why. And nobody wants to hear this, man. Bro, it's like he's offensive because before it was like occasionally you'll have these dudes that were not taken seriously. It was like, hey, maybe you should try a paleo diet. I remember when paleo diets were like some fad, some crazy fad. I remember when intermittent fasting was some crazy fad. I remember when cold plunges was some crazy fad, right? Now it's not a crazy fad. Now we have doctors of neurology talking about this shit. If I'm Kraft Foods, you know what I'm saying? I can't have motherfuckers not eating cheese. They need to eat this processed cheese. What am I supposed to do with all this cheese? You better eat this cheese. What did Andrew Huberman say? I shouldn't be eating this? Lactose intolerant? What is this? Pepperidge Farms, McDonald's. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, man. So you start seeing all these things that were just on the fringes. Why did I have to learn about cold plunges from a motherfucker on YouTube? Why couldn't I have learned about it from a doctor? You ever ask yourself that question? Why did I have to learn about intermittent fasting from a YouTuber? Why couldn't I learn it from a doctor? Why couldn't I learn about ketosis? Well, but why? Todd Buchanan says it because cold water is free. Cold water is free. That's the reason. Can't make money off cold water. You know what I'm saying? Why is it dudes that I see that were crushing it with women and I asked them what they were doing? Why is it they're the ones who told me about TRT? Why wasn't it a doctor? Anybody? Anybody have an answer for me? You want to know why? Because what does TRT do? TRT means you don't need you don't need Adderall anymore. You might need Anabar. You don't need Adderall anymore. TRT means you don't need Xanax anymore. TRT means you don't need sleeping pills anymore. TRT means you don't need erectile. You don't need that fucking Viagra anymore. Look at all these pharmaceuticals. I don't need drugs for my anxiety anymore. You want to know why? Because I'm on TRT. I can lift weights again. I can go take my anger out in the gym. So you're telling me you're going to prescribe to me some testosterone cypionate that's made out of wild yams that cost next to nothing to produce, and in exchange, you can't prescribe me Xanax anymore? Fuck that. Pharmaceutical companies lose money. Wait a second. You're telling me that I can take TRT and I'll lose weight? I don't have to take Ozempic? Oh, I don't have to. You mean I don't need your weight loss drug anymore? I don't have to be fat anymore? Because, well, man, listen, I think Kennedy is crazy, but he does say one thing that I agree. There's an organized necessity to keep America fat and sick. That's all I'm saying to you. And I noticed there's a particular doctor, a podcaster, who's trying to keep you not fat and not sick. And the New York Magazine decided to write a fucking article about him because he cheated on his wife, right? Guys, you know about that? No, he's not married. Oh, that's right. He's not even married. That's right. Oh my God, bro. That's crazy. I took a big nasty dump this morning. I hope they don't write an article about that shit. Oh no, let's get all up in his fucking business. Like, what are you doing, bro? It's crazy. I think it's crazy to write about somebody's like tax liability. To me, that shit is crazy. By the way, if you were going to do this article and you wanted to say, okay, well, he lied to some of these women, whatever. I don't know what the truth is. What I do know is this. When you guys have heard of this thing called research. Have you guys ever done research? I do research whenever I do a podcast. I like to do a lot of research whenever I go on certain shows, stuff like that. You know what's good to do? When you research multiple sources, you don't just go to Wikipedia, right? You go to several different sources. If I'm going to interview someone, I might go to Wikipedia. If they have a biography, I might read their biography. If they have a YouTube channel, I might go to the YouTube channel. Several different sources to sort of verify what it is that they're saying. Is that what New York Magazine did? Does anyone want to go ahead and say, but write down in the chat, where did New York Magazine get all of their sources from? Anybody? Anybody? Where did they get all their sources from? His fucking ex-girlfriends. There was no further corroboration. I want you to consider the seriousness of putting an article on the front page of a large magazine, and the journalistic integrity you had was to interview his jilted exes. I got 2 exes right now that will tell you I'm Satan. Okay? Like, bro, are you kidding me? You think that's evidence? It's just crazy, bro. I hope, and we'll never see it. Next 6 months, I hope we see a retraction and an apology from New York Magazine. We won't see it though. But I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you one other thing. Why is it that they wouldn't do an article on me? Well, first off, I have a girlfriend and I don't cheat on her. But there's another reason. Why would they never do an article on me? Because I got 80,000 or 90,000 subs. And what is he at? 4 million subs? I don't know what Huberman's at now. Because I want to explain something to you guys. It's called swagger jacking. Do you guys know what swagger jacking is? Swagger jacking is when you're a nobody rapper and you try to get into a beef with like a big rapper. So if he says your name on his diss track, then people will go listen to your shit. It's called swagger jacking. Or if you got somebody who's famous and you're just like trying to hitch onto their wagon to ride them up to the top, that's swagger jacking. So this article, this legacy media article, which by the way, its combined readers do not equal what Andrew Huberman gets in one episode. They're part of legacy. You understand why we call it legacy media, right? Legacy media means it's legacy. It's in the past. Newspapers, like physical newspapers, cable television. This is legacy media. The 10 o'clock local news, legacy media. The reason why legacy media has to go after Huberman is because Huberman because he's popular. I talked to an executive at Instagram one time, and I said, I was asking him about Andrew Tate, and he said, we didn't go after Andrew Tate because of what he was saying. He goes, the Ayatollah of fucking Iran says horrible shit about women too. That's not why he's got a Twitter. That's not why we went after him. We went after him because he was popular. Remember that, guys. That's always another thing that you have to understand. Hey, put a 1 in the chat if you guys are in MOA and you started doing better with women and dudes started hating on you. People started hating. Put a 1 in the chat. If all of a sudden you started dating somebody who was supposedly out of your league and dudes start throwing shade at you all the time, walking up to your girl trying to help her in the gym with her fucking weights. Put a 1 in the chat if that's ever happened to you, because you're not supposed to be dating her. Only rich, tall, good-looking dudes are supposed to be dating her. No, what do you mean you did that shit that Michael said? Oh, the Michael must be manipulating. You guys must be a cult. That must be what it is. That must be what it is. All right? Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, you know it's coming. Bro, I texted you this problem literally an hour ago. I love this. All right, cool. Nice. All right, cool. We're going to get some questions. Sorry, that was my monologue there. I was just a little perturbed by this whole situation. And with the Puff Daddy shit. So you guys know one of my favorite people in the world to watch is Wes Watson. I wish I knew Wes better. We don't talk every day, but I do text him every once in a while. Wes posted a picture of him with Puff Daddy. And I was like, man, that is crazy. I don't think Wes, this is my opinion, I don't think Wes like endorses what Puff Daddy's doing. What I think Wes is doing is like, almost like Man on the Street. It's like you're walking down the street and then like Bigfoot shows up, so you're getting a picture of Bigfoot. I think Wes is treating it like, oh shit, here's Bigfoot here next to me. You know, I think that's what's going on. I hope that's what's going on. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, I'll have Wes on here pretty soon, and it's probably something we'll talk about on Friday, because Friday I'm going on Brad Lee's podcast, and I'm couldn't be more excited. One of my favorite podcasts to go on is Dropping Bombs with Brad Lee, so that's going to happen. Yeah, Wes just doesn't give a fuck. I tell Wes this before. I was like, whenever I have clients that need to give themselves permission, I make them show Wes Watson. Now, here's another crazy situation. You guys know I'm friends with Spencer Cornelia. Spencer Cornelia made a not very nice a video about Wes Watson this week. And some of the things I don't agree with, and he's kind of speculating. Like, I don't think Wes Watson's a scam at all. I know a ton of people who've gotten a ton of value from Wes Watson's coaching, but it is just kind of interesting how that whole situation comes across. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things come off like they're too good to be true. And I guess maybe Spencer doesn't understand. Wes like talks to you like a drill sergeant. He does. You know, he'll tell you to go fuck yourself. And I don't do that very often on my calls, but I am kind of rough with you. All right. Yeah, Ty, you need to check that out. It's so crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Man, Wes is so awesome, dude. He really is. Wes just like, here's the reason why Wes is awesome, bro. Because for me, when like just me yelling on my little monologue I did like 5 minutes ago, me a couple of years ago would have been afraid to do that on YouTube. Then I watch Wes and I'm like, that wasn't shit. That wasn't shit. By the way, for those of you who want to know, this is Remember the Cant. This is my favorite TV show of all time, The Expanse. That's why I remember the Canterbury. That's why I'm wearing this today. Cool. Awesome. By the way, we can talk about the 3-body problem too. I know some of you guys have been asking me questions about that. I read the book series, the Netflix show just came out. It was awesome. All right, let's get this thing started, guys. We're going to go with Steven Roper. Steven, what's going on, man, down in Jamaica? Oh, you're muted, brother. Oh, that's my bad. Hey, guys, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that on Mondays, I take away the mute button. So go ahead, Steven. You're unmuted now. You can unmute yourself. That's my bad.
Yeah. No, man, that's cool. Yeah, man. What's up? What's up?
Yep.
Mike, I gotta ask you, bro, like, okay, how do you handle dynamics where women test you, as in where they're kind of like rude, not bitchy, but just kind of like disrespectful, and you're like, how do I test, how do I check this? Because I think
Yeah.
when it's with guys, you can be like, yo, bro, don't like, with men, I can always be like, bro, don't speak to me like that. You know what I mean? Or like check it. But with women, I don't want to come up. Oh, I don't want to come across as too aggressive or too rude. But how do you deal with that? Because I think a lot of times in certain group dynamics, like a girl who's kind of like the leader of the group, like will kind of check me, and if I don't test it, like other girls will like see that and treat me a bit differently. You know what I mean? I don't know if that happens.
Yeah, so for me, like if you ever watch like David Cooley on No Fugazi, if you ever watch Myron Gaines, they
Mm,
straight up don't give a fuck because they're not trying to date these girls. And because of that, they're going to be like super rude to the girls, okay? And
mm,
that's one strategy to use. I will tell you, I don't think that's the strategy I would ever use. I would look at it like this. If it's a situation, like I've had a situation before where a girl she straight up didn't know me. Maybe it's like maybe back in Dallas 15 years ago. She didn't know me, and I walked up to her, and her boyfriend was coming back from the bathroom, and she's like, "Hey, I need you to get away, whatever." I don't know what she knows, Steven, so I'm not going to trip about it. I'm just going to walk away. If it's a situation, though, where a girl acts like a little child, I'm going to treat her like a little child. But I wouldn't go tell a little child to go fuck himself, right? What I would say is like, okay, little girl, have a nice day. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't, you just really have to think about it. When women say, hey, I want someone to buy me flowers. So a homeless guy walks up and buys them flowers. What do they think? Get the fuck away from me. You smell. No, you want someone you're attracted to buy you flowers. What that means is you want someone you have value for to give you flowers, not someone you don't have value for. So what happens is when these girls, when they're attractive and they give you shit, you have value for them because they're attractive. When really, if this person was just like some homeless person on the street, like mumbling to himself, and he was like, "Fuck you, Steven," you'd be like, "Fuck you, what? Oh damn, man, do you need some money?" Like you wouldn't even trip, right? If
mm,
some guy was just like a blind man was just on the side of the road, just like "fuck you, Steven," you'd be like, "What? Are you gonna kick the dude? Are you gonna tell him to go fuck himself?" He's like let's just say he's dementia. He just doesn't even know where he is,
mm,
right? So because you take it seriously, you need a serious answer. And my whole thing is I just don't take it seriously. And it's one thing
mm,
I've noted, man. I'm gonna tell you, Okay, so I try to give you guys one good piece of advice like every few minutes on this show. This is a piece of advice for me. Dan Fleischman came on my podcast like early on in my podcast, and he said one of the things is whenever girls get negativity, I tell them block and delete. He just straight up take his phone. He goes block and delete, block and delete. And I didn't block and delete. You guys know I got caught up in some fucking some bullshit with some people. I'm not even gonna say his name. And I regret it because of what Dan told me. And now every time somebody has a personal insult about me, Rolo, the girls on the show, my girlfriend, whatever, immediately block and delete. And it looks like they're learning because all the negative comments are just gone now. They're just gone. And so, the thing is, like, it's just so great to just not have those people to give them a voice or to give them space to go ahead and do anything. You just cannot be reactive to them. So you're asking a question about what you do with this female. And the thing is, it's the same kind of situation. And I'll tell you this, I've had girls be rude to me and then date me later. And it was because when they saw me later, contextually, by the way, they didn't even remember me. They didn't even remember they were rude to me. When they saw me later, contextually, what was I surrounded by? Women more beautiful than them. Guys, I'll tell you right now, I've never dated Lindsay Palis. Lindsay Palis is my friend. She's very pretty, obviously. I've never
I
dated
told you
Lindsay.
that
The
girl,
reason why I bring
I'm
this up,
telling you, she likes you, man.
Yeah, okay, maybe. But the thing is, Lindsay and I were at the Maxim party together, and Lindsay used to date Dan Bilzerian. And I will tell you right now that any game you think you have, if you had me and my game was a 5 out of 5 and your game was a 10 out of 10, but I have Lindsay Palis as a friend to walk around with, I'm going to do better than you. Like having a girl that beautiful just walk around with you and just be like whenever a girl was like, oh, here comes another creepy dude trying to like get in my shit. And then I turn around and say, oh yeah, have you met my friend Lindsay? All of a sudden, gone. All the pretentiousness is gone. It's just wiped out. It's just an incredible, incredible phenomenon. And you'll learn more about it, guys, the more you mess with Social Circle. That's one of the things that you'll learn. Got it?
Yeah, could I tell you a story? Like, or
Go ahead, Steve.
I'll tell you a quick story. This happened to me. I went to a party. I went to a party with one of my friends, and this girl that I did a shoot with long time ago. It was weird, bro. Like, even though we still talk about it. Like, I'm like trying to pass her, and she's like, "Yo, you can't pass here." And I'm like, "What? Yes, I can." And she's like, "No, you can't pass." So I'm like, "Okay." So I walk around her, and like I hear her, like my boy hears her. She says, "Yo, you bitch," and I was like. So like the next day, like my friend comes to me and he's like, "Yo, did you know her?" And I was like, "I did a shoot with her." She's like, "Yo, she called you a bitch." And I was like, "But it was just weird." And then the next day, like I was out with more friends. She sees me and she gets kind of like she basically like walks, like avoids me because of the whole like we had mutual friends, but she sees me and then because I'm amongst her mutual friends, she just kind of like avoids me. So I just have like weird situations like that where it's just kind of like.
So, Stephen, you're asking me for an action to take, and what I want you to do is have a mentality that you take called "she doesn't matter." Yo, all of you guys who are watching this, one of the things that's going to make you successful is not just recognizing what does matter. It's just as important to recognize what doesn't matter. If you want a book on that, it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. It's not only important what does matter, it's also important what doesn't matter. And several of you guys, I'm not talking about you, Stephen, but like several of you guys, you worship at the altar of worthless people. Ask yourself that question. Say, hey, am I worshiping at the altar of worthless people? Everybody here has a fat aunt when you go home for Thanksgiving that's like, why aren't you married? What's going on? What kind of job? We all do. And you love your aunt because she's family, but she doesn't have the same desires and goals that you do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has somebody like that in their life. And you still love them. You still love them, but it's just like you got to go on with your life. When I come home when I go to high school reunions, when are you going to have kids? When are you going to settle down? I'm like, isn't it interesting? I didn't ask you why you had kids. I don't come to these reunions and ask you about like all the shit you're doing, but you're watching every single fucking thing I'm doing. And you want to know something else? Your husband is too. Whoops. So, I mean, it's just an interesting conundrum. And, you guys all have to make decisions for yourself. But as far as a girl like talking shit, there has been one time where I was like, hey, just to let you know, I'm just trying to be nice about this, but you're a female, so I can't break your jaw. I'm not going to punch you in the face. Like, I understand you need to say what you need to say, and it makes you sound tough, but because you're a woman, I cannot break your neck right now. So just let you know. Okay. Like I would say, so I've said stuff like that before. It's like, I'm not going to lay a hand on you because you're female, just to let you know. And like, you'll notice because they come to realization because they get crazy like that. But the thing is, the problem is that's rare that I would ever say that. Usually what I would say is something to, well, what I've done before is a girl was rude to me and I was just trying to get by. And she's like, get away from me, get away from me. And I was like, I'll just have you kicked out of this club. Don't touch, don't tell me to move anywhere. You're in the way. Nobody wants to talk to you. You need to get out of my way. I've been nice. And if she gets even more rude about it, I'm like, well, you're actually not that attractive. So no one's going to come talk to you. So I really wouldn't worry about this at all. It's not going to be a problem for you. But the security guard I'm about to call over here is. Again, do I recommend doing that? I do not. I recommend just ignore it. When I was in the military, they straight up told us if we ever got in a bar fight, we were in deep shit. I remember I went to this one bar in fucking Alabama, and this dude shoved me in the back, and I just ran out the fucking bar. I wasn't afraid of him. I just knew that if I fought this dude, I knew I was going to get fucking like they scared they scare the water out of you, dude. When you're in OTS, they tell crazy stories about guys making it through tour because it's hell, bro. You're like 14 weeks and they like fail people. I'm like, man, I'm not getting failed. I ran out of that bitch. I remember some dude shoving me, and I didn't even look back. I was like, he's trying to start a fight. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. You know, so like being non-reactive is an important thing. And then there's the other part, which is Jocko Willink talking about good. Hey, man, you just made $10 million this week. Good. Hey, man, sorry to hear about your wife leaving you. Good. Hey, man, just incredible, man. Your business, it just won a bunch of awards. Good. Hey, man, sorry to hear, man, you got cancer. Good. The answer is always good. The answer is always stoicism. Okay? You guys understand, like, stoicism is not just like a game technique. If it wasn't for stoicism, we'd be like, oh my God, our country would get invaded. Our country's being invaded. Oh no, what do we do? Let's run around. Ah. No, what do stoic, violent men with high testosterone, high levels of training, acumen, ability, determination, what do? Let's lock and load, bitches. Bring them on. Come on. Let's kill them all and let God sort them out. Those are the people that created the free society that you live in now. Because they were stoic, because they didn't lose their shit because things went wrong. And it's a gift. It's a gift stoicism is a gift you can give to the world. Everyone else will lose their shit and accept you. You will keep your head when everyone else is losing theirs. Cool. Let's keep it going. Haroon, what's your question? Haroon, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay. All right. Hey, Mike. So basically, I have a question. So I live in a small town in Indiana, and it's got like less than 30,000 people here. And I've gotten some advice from other people in this program, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. Kind of telling me that if I really want to attack my goals and reach my goals in this program, it's probably best that like I move to like a big city, even if it means taking on like a low income job, because that'll be better for me to like attack my goals in this program. And so is that something you would recommend me to like get out of the small town, go to a bigger city, take on a low income job, and then just try to work social circle, make new friends in a new environment? Or do you think I should just continue with where I'm at and see where I can take it?
Okay, so Haroon, one of the things in this program is we don't really do vague, we only do specific. And so in this situation, I'm going to give you a couple of specific examples. If you're telling me that you wanted to get in venture capital and you lived in Iowa, should you stay in Iowa or do you have to go to Northern California? What do you think?
California.
Yeah, you probably do. If you want to sell commodities, if you want to be a huge commodity trader, should you stay in Waco, Texas, or should you move to Chicago? What do you think?
Probably Chicago.
Yeah, and if you want to trade equities, if you want to be a professional equities trader, what city do you need to be in the United States?
New York.
You need to be in New York. You understand that, right? You understand that, okay? If you want to make it as a big singer, as a big country singer, what city should you move to? Anybody, you know what city it is?
Tennessee or
Probably
Nashville.
Nashville. Probably Nashville. Cool. If you want to become a big singing musical artist, what city should you probably move to?
Mm.
Or an actor. If you want to become an actor, a SAG-AFTRA actor, what city should you probably move to?
like LA or something like
For
that.
sure. LA. So you understand that there's different opportunities in different places. But if you told me, hey, man, I just want to meet the hottest girls in the world, should you move to San Francisco? Fuck no. Okay. The different opportunities for different. Hey, Michael, I want to become a foodie for barbecue. Well, then you need to move to Austin, Texas or Nashville, Tennessee. There's just different things that you should do. So, Haroon, the first question I have to ask for you is what is your priority? Your health, your wealth, or your relationships? What is your priority right now?
I'd say all those are really my priority. I mean,
Okay.
honestly, like uh I want to get my money up. I actually was laid off last month from my job, so
Okay.
that's like a big priority for me.
Yeah.
And also making friends is a big priority for me. And then just, broadening my network. I'd say like I have a deficit in a lot of different areas.
Beautiful.
That's really kind of
Good.
why I was attracted to this program. And yeah, part of me is like I see the logic in moving to like a bigger city like, Las Vegas or Chicago or this and that, but it's like I don't see how feasible it is. Like how am I supposed to attack these goals, these lofty goals if I'm taking on like, if I'm escaping and taking on like some low income job that already like reduces your attractiveness, like that already reduces your ability to to get more opportunities with women, to get more opportunities with
Yeah,
high
not necessarily Haroon. I can understand. You're kind of using the like 2015 thinking right here. No, it makes no difference. I was broke and living in Los Angeles and I was doing totally fine. That's not the issue. And by the way, it wasn't my advice for you to move to LA. That's you're asking me about someone else giving you advice that they think I would give you. That's not the advice I would give you. The advice I would give you, honestly, is you need to get money up to a certain point. But what's more important is that you have a skill set that you can take with you if you move to Miami or move to Las Vegas or move to Chicago. So the easiest one is the digital nomad one. So I'm a copywriter, I'm telephone sales, I do Zoom sales, I write code for AI, something like that. And I can do that from anywhere. That's the guy who moves to Las Vegas. By the way, Las Vegas is way cheaper than LA or New York, and the girls are way hotter here. That's what I would recommend you do instead. There is a happy medium. So Haroon, here's what I need you to do. I need you. So where city are you in right now?
I'm in a town outside of Indianapolis.
Fine, cool. One of my friends, she lives out there in Indianapolis. Grace Bell. She was the first. She won Paradise Challenge. She's the queen of Paradise Challenge out there. But my question is, how much on average do you think between like what you were making and what you think you're going to make living in this city? How much money a year is that?
Like what would be the gap?
Yeah, no, I'm just asking you right now. You're gonna stay there and you're gonna make X amount of money. How much is that money you're gonna make? You're going to stay there. You're going to stay. If you're going to tell me you're going to stay outside of Indianapolis because you're making $550,000 a year, let's have a discussion. How much are you making a year if you stay there?
Um, Under six figures. Yeah.
Okay. So is anybody else want to unmute themselves and jump on this bitch? Because now I'm completely lost. You're worried about a job under six figures. You know how easy it is to make a job, bro. You could probably become a fucking like mid-tier VIP host in Vegas and make six figures. What? Now I'm super confused. No, forget Vegas, guys. Forget Vegas. He's talking about like I would stay. So, for instance, let's say I had a cardiology practice and I was making $1 million a year in some small town in Texas. I would stay there because I'm making $1 million a year. I would stay in that city. But if I wasn't and I had a job like I wasn't making that much money, you can make good money driving Uber or fucking not a hundred grand a year, but you can make good money drive. You know what? I bet you can make 100 grand a year driving Uber Eats or fucking Uber or fucking Lyft. What I'm saying is you're not seeing this correctly. You're seeing this as an if then statement. If I move, then I have to take less money, which isn't true. And the part that you're missing is I think maybe coming from Indiana, you don't recognize the opportunities that are out there. Does that make
Um,
sense? But here's the most important part. Instead of worrying about the next job you get, why don't you worry about like solving a problem and then live wherever you want? I'll give
I
you
mean,
previous problems. These are not current problems. I think these places are way oversaturated. But a lot of guys They left and started selling real estate when there was a boom. A lot of people started selling solar, a lot because there was a problem people had. A lot of people started doing Amazon FBA because other people wanted to learn how to make businesses from home. Some people, all kinds of courses got started where people managing their own business, coaching programs, Alex Hormozy teaching people how to open gyms, etc. Somebody figured out how to solve a problem and they became exceptionally wealthy. And Alex Hormozy lives 800 feet that way. 800 feet, 800 yards that way from me. He could live anywhere in the world. And 1.5 miles that way, that's where Dan Bilzerian lives. They could live anywhere in the world because they have the option to live anywhere they want because they got the money to do that. So if they got that, because they solved the problem. So can you tell me the problem that you're going to solve and the skill set or the skill set that you're going to develop so it doesn't make any difference where you live?
I mean, I have some skills I can use, but the challenge for me is is getting in a position where with people who can value those skills. I mean, because
and you think in Indianapolis is clearly that place, right?
I mean, I've been trying in Indianapolis. I've been trying out of Indianapolis. I mean,
So Haroon, what are you trying to sell? What are you trying to sell?
My resume and my background.
Give me your resume. Tell me right now.
So I mean, I can do a lot of things, but it's a heavy academic background. I'm a communication specialist. I've been doing this for a few years. Content developing, media, public relations, creative writing, worked as an executive assistant.
Is anybody else just dumbfounded right now? All things that have nothing to do with Indianapolis, Indiana. Dog, I thought that you were like a construction worker in Indianapolis. Look in the chat. What the fuck is keeping you there? Making less money? What are you talking about, dude? Nothing you're saying is making sense.
I mean,
look in the chat. Just read the chat, bro. Don't listen to me. Read the chat. I mean, your problem is not money or women or your physique. Your problem is that you don't fucking give yourself permission, bro. Damn, bro. That is really your problem. You have those skill sets that have no tie to geography whatsoever, and you can't move. What are you talking about?
I mean, I could move, but then it's just it's back to asking people for a handout, like what I'm doing here. I mean, unless I figure out how to
so then you're not good at your job or you're not solving a problem.
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good at
hold on. If you tell me that you're good at being a stockbroker and you're broke, you can tell me you're good at your job and think you're good at your job all you want. If you know how I know I'm a good coach? Because my company quadruples in size every year. So you're telling me that you're doing all these things with your communication degree and you're making less than 6 figures. You might be good at your job, but you're not that good, or you're not solving a problem. Another thing is you may be good at a job that nobody cares about.
No, there's a lot of demand for it out there. I mean, a lot of people want
these. Dude, is anyone else confused? If there's a lot of demand for the job and you're good at your job, would you be making a little bit of money or a lot of money? How does that work? When you play quarterback in the NFL, and there's not many people to play quarterback in the NFL, do they pay you $50,000 a year or $50 million a year? If there's a lot of demand for your job and you're good at your job, would you make a lot of money or a little bit of money? What do you think the answer is?
A lot, yeah.
You're not being realistic. You're not being realistic about your ability to move. You're not being realistic about your income. You're not being realistic about your resume. You are not giving yourself permission.
Okay, so I guess I don't know, what I'm confused too. What should be the action plan right now? Do I just get up and move and go?
No. I don't think you should move now. I don't, because you don't give yourself permission. You're just going to move and be in the same situation. I think you need to stay where you are, and I need you to figure out how to solve a problem that makes people money. Okay? You know what a lot of people do is they go get a degree, and then they go get a master's degree, and they get a PhD, and they become a teacher. Well, a lot of times, especially in the secondary education markets, we don't need that many more teachers. We do in primary education for sure. High school, we need more teachers. A lot of times colleges are charging outrageous sums of money. and you're not solving, you are solving a problem sort of, but not a huge problem. So because you solve a small problem, you get a small salary. I want you to remember this, Haroon. You solve a small problem, you get a small salary. I'm going to be a gym teacher and I'm going to coach history at a junior high. I solve a small problem, so I get a small salary. You with me?
Yeah.
I'm going to take us to the moon and develop electric cars. I solved a big problem, so I have the biggest salary. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
I've only heard you explain to me your resume. I have not yet heard you explain to me the problem you're solving.
So you want me to identify like the problems I can solve?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also want you to get your fucking testosterone level checked because you're putting us to sleep.
Okay, man. Uh,
Mike, can I
I
hop
mean,
on
you
here for
can't.
a second?
Yeah, go ahead, Ty. Go ahead,
Dude,
Lieutenant.
I live in fucking Greencastle, Indiana. The women that you want are here. The men that you want to network with are here. You just don't know what social circles they're in. But what Mike teaches you is how to find those social circles. And then he teaches you to be the connector, the suggester, the content creator, providing value to those groups. So you become friends and you connect with that network. You haven't been able to find what you're looking for because you don't know where to look. They're there. I can tell you that they're there, even in fucking middle of nowhere, Indiana.
okay, so then can someone like tell me where, like I don't even have a job. Like can someone can someone tell me where to go? Like what are the groups, the organizations, like what should I join to like
Talk to me on school.
okay. Like because honestly, like if you want me to be real honest with you, like I don't even have any friends, to be honest. Like it's like
Haroon, you don't have to be honest with me. We know. We're your friends now, Haroon. We are. Because we don't judge you.
that's why that's
But
why I
here's the
joined
thing.
the program. I'm
But have you joined MOA or you just try the free course? Are you in
no,
MOA?
I'm in here.
I don't know
I'm
what
in
that
this
means.
bitch.
This is a free call.
Yeah, no, I'm in MOA.
So you're gonna
Yeah.
be on the call tomorrow.
What call tomorrow?
There's a group call. If you're in MOA, then you're gonna be in a group call tomorrow. Or did you take the free program or did you actually go on a sales call and sign up for MOA?
No, I'm a member. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll see you on the call tomorrow. You need to check the schedule. You need to do follow all the onboarding and onboarding instructions. Okay,
Okay.
Haroon.
Yeah.
This is the thing. This is the thing. The rest of the world hears you suffering, and they do not give a fuck. They don't. They don't care. All of us in this program, because we put a 1 in the chat if you can identify with at least some or part of what Haroon is going through. Put a 1 in the chat if you were like, man, I don't know, and I don't have any friends. This isn't really working. Should I leave my mom's house? Should I stay living in this place? Of course, we've all done it. So to us, we see us in you, so we welcome you. It's different. But if you go take this fucking sob story to some big titty blonde in Los Angeles, she's gonna like, oh, it's nice to meet you. I think we should just be friends. They don't care. Because to them, you perform or they don't give a fuck. And that's one thing you're gonna learn. Number one, you got to start solving problems. And number two, you're a man. You have a penis, which means you have a burden of performance. Okay? Always. I need you to start thinking of these problems externally. I need you to start thinking of these problems from the standpoint of what problem am I solving? General Patton had a saying. He goes, the enemy gets a vote too. Mike Tyson had a saying, goes, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. You have to think about it in your situation. You're thinking about what you want and your own feelings. When the reason why I'm pretty good with women is because I'm always considering the evolutionary adaptations that women have that stimulate them, that cause them to take action. Does that make sense?
Sure.
You got it? All right, we'll go over this more. Haroon, you should also be able to set up one-on-ones with me. Do you have a one-on-one set up?
Oh, with you?
Yeah.
I can do that.
If you don't, doesn't matter. I need you.
I mean, I'm working with another coach right now.
Beautiful. Just make sure you're on a call tomorrow, 4:00 PST.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. Thanks.
Good to talk to you. Miguel, what's your question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Um, how you doing, Michael? I was seeing how, what are some ways that you could prevent, because you and Andrew Tate was like, when women try to manipulate you, don't give them attention, like be unreactive. What does that mean actually? Like what would you do in that situation and
So
stuff
can you
like
be
that?
specific? What specific situation are you talking about?
Like a woman trying to start a fight for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you did so and so. You know you didn't do it. Or
Mm-hmm.
they just trying to blow a situation out of proportion
Crazy, isn't
to
it?
try to get your reaction. Yes. So I just want to know, what would you do, and what other high status men that they want, what would they do? Exactly
One
what they
thing I
do.
love, one thing I loved is, my man Tate out in Romania. What did he say? He said, when your girl is trying to pick a fight with you, you give her more attention, and that's what you shouldn't do. You should actually give her more attention when she cleans your house, when she does something nice for you. When your girlfriend brings you peace, you should give her more attention. When your girlfriend doesn't bring you peace, you should give her less attention. You remember what I was talking about before? The whole concept of like treat like their children. When people, I don't specifically know what the situation that you're talking about is, but if your girlfriend caught you fucking some other girl and she has a legitimate beef, you got to deal with that. You fuck that up. She has a right to leave. You know what I'm saying? Whatever anybody tells you on YouTube, if you cheat on a girl, a lot of times they're gonna fucking break up with you, and they probably should. Okay, but if she's making shit up and you haven't done anything wrong, what would you do if you're like you had a niece who was like 5 years old and came up with you the bongo bat and started hitting you on the butt with a bongo bat? Would you be like, shut the fuck up, bitch? Or would you turn around and be like, ha ha ha, it's my stupid little niece with a bongo bat? You wouldn't care. You would not trip about it. And the problem is because we're so tied up in it because there's a sexual chemistry there that we start getting reactive. You don't have to get reactive, man. And it's hard to do, man. It is, what was it? The Buddha said, he goes, whenever you believe you've achieved enlightenment, go back and stay with your parents. You guys ever heard that one? Like, because my parents, I used to think I was cool as a cucumber. I would go back and talk to my dad, and he would say some fucking crazy shit that had me just going nuts, bro. Like I mean, he would say my dad and I argued over the air conditioner so much. You want to know why I live in Las Vegas? Because I hate humidity. My dad and I would argue over the air conditioner every day. My dad bought a cheap air conditioner, which cost us more money. But if he had bought a more expensive air conditioner, it would have cost us less money because it would have been more efficient. And we would get into arguments about this shit all the time, man. It was crazy. And it brought me out of enlightenment. It made me want to go fight. It made me need to prove to somebody that I was right, or prove to someone I was wrong. Here's the thing. Here's where things will start to make sense to you. Is this girl, Miguel, is this a girl that you're dating? Like you have some investment in her?
No, this is from me watching Access Vegas. Me pretty much, I watch all your
This
content.
is not okay. So yeah, if you're in that situation, what I would do is internally recognize I need to at least have the option to leave if I need to have at least that, because girls who like I don't have a thing with, I couldn't care less that they accuse me of shit. There's some girls that work over at fucking Sicky Paws right now. They're saying shit about me that isn't true. I mean, one of them, you guys know, Jamie Lynn. She said something about me making fun of her because she got 304 wrong. That is not true at all. That is not what I did at all. But Jamie's not my girlfriend, so I don't care. I don't even care enough to correct her. It's not that big of a deal. But if it's a girl that you're dealing with, internally you need to say, number one, can I go on without this relationship? And then number two, you need to explain to her is like, we both know that the thing that you said happened didn't happen. And then provide whatever evidence you had. Now, you've accused me of something that you know didn't happen. Going forward, if you do this again, I think it's better for us if we end the relationship. But you say it in a calm, cold-blooded voice like that. Does it make sense? No,
Okay.
you don't have to explain yourself. It's like at some point, what happened? Like, this was one girl. This girl was like not pretty at all, and I was like trying to let her down easy. She was messaging me. Kylie can go through my messages. I don't care at all. So she and Kylie sees me texting this girl, and I text her like the thing with the tongue out emoji with the eye wink, and she goes, "Why are you flirting with that girl?" So we had a difference of opinion. Kylie thought that was flirting. For me, it was like, "Hey, hope you have a nice day." Is flirting like if you go up to a 70-year-old woman, you'd be like, "Hey, there she is. That's Ethel, the heartbreaker. You out here breaking hearts, Ethel." And she's like 75 years old in a nursing home. That's what it was. That is essentially what I was doing with this girl. But Kylie didn't see that. She didn't see it from that standpoint. No, she did later. What she saw is like, oh, okay, I get what was going on. But initially, she didn't. If it's consistently a situation where she thinks everything you're doing is flirting, everything you're doing is potentially cheating, everything you're doing is like she needs more and more validation, you need to have a conversation where you need to make it expressly clear, not threatening or no kind of ultimatum, but you need to say, it's a square peg into a round hole. If we don't fit together, let's consider going our separate ways. An alarm bell will go off in her head and she's like, wow, I'm about to lose this guy. No guy's ever, you know how many girls, especially if they're hot, you know how many girls who are hot who have never been broken up with? It's most of them. They've never been broken up with. They've been cheated on, especially the girls at the top. They've been cheated on a lot, but they've never been broken up with ever. And you saying that and like actually meaning it, ain't nothing like it, bro. Whoosh, right back in line. And but while what I'm saying sounds crazy, 90% of the time it's the other way. Man steps out of line, woman is like, why did you do this? And there's sort of this intimating threat of like, you're not going to get any more vagina because you did this. And the man's like, yes, ma'am. Yes, whatever you need, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's usually how it works. What I'm describing is that it can work the other way too.
Yeah, because I'm 20. I'm 20, and so it's like learning Access Vegas. I'm planning on getting your course soon, and me reading Dr. David Buss and the Red Queen. I haven't gotten the Red Queen. I'm gonna get it soon. Like, this is like a cheat
the Red
code.
Queen isn't going to help you much with dating, but I love that book. I love that book, but
Okay.
it's not going to help you with dating. Red Queen's evolutionary biology.
Okay.
Yep.
This is a G code. And another thing, what's the difference between being like the top of the top, like a your girlfriend, or like a Mariah Carey, or like the top of the top, everybody wants them? Like, how are they different than like a regular girl? This is like an NBA player versus an amateur player at like a AAU.
It's a great question. I've learned that recently I don't rate women based on their physical attractiveness. In fact, you guys will notice I rarely comment on women's physical attractiveness. In fact, if you guys have ever been to my bikini competition, one of the craziest things that you'll hear is that I never call the girls sexy or say that the girls are hot. I never do anything. I know it sounds fucking insane when I say this, but at my bikini competitions, I never do anything to objectify the women at all, because I don't have to, because they're already being objectified. I don't need to do anything to objectify them. The thing that I'll tell you is that what was the first question? What was the first part of the question?
Like, what do you see at, like, especially in dating them long term? What do you see the difference between like the top of top
Okay.
girls?
No, I
Like,
remember the question.
okay.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. So what I started to do was I only look at women. There he is. I only look at women based on the level of stimulus they receive. Consider what I'm saying, guys. Consider the girl who's a 6 who lives in Los Angeles. Or consider the girl who's like a perfect 10, and she lives in Coeur d'Alene, Indiana, right? And she's just stunning, beautiful. Let's say she's studying to be a surgical nurse. She's had like one boyfriend in her whole life, never cheated, just didn't work out because she went away to college. She's in incredible shape, really great eating habits. She volunteers. She's got tons of energy. She's going to make an incredible wife, an incredible mother, and she's a perfect 10. But she has no Instagram. She's never been to Dubai. She's never been to a fucking party in Los Angeles. Now let's take a second girl. This girl is a 6, but she uses FaceApp and Facetune to make her body look better and her face look better on social media. And she has been flown out to Dubai, and guys are regularly sending her messages to pay her $5,000 to go to dinner. Which girl is going to be harder to date?
The 6, the more stimulus.
The 6, because it's more stimulus, not because she's hotter. Now, being hotter, can it get you more stimulus? Yes, but that's sort of getting mixed up now, because people can lay out false signals, make their waist look smaller, for instance, on social media. So the reality is, the way you're asking the question, what's the difference between them? The difference is how much stimulus do they receive. If you meet a girl who's like a homebody, she doesn't go out that much, all she does is work, but she's like super fine. The only time she leaves the house is to go to the gym. And you meet a girl like that who's just very low stimulus, it's a lot easier to have a relationship with her.
Okay.
It's the stimulus they receive. If a girl is like, if you see these girls that are like posting ass pics and they're getting likes by Michael B. Jordan and fucking Drake and shit like that, that is not a girl that is like, you're going to have a very difficult time being in a relationship with a woman like that.
Because they think they could get Drake and Michael B. Jordan.
That's
They
correct.
liked it.
Or at one point they probably did get Drake or Michael B. Jordan. That's exactly right.
Okay. That's what's up. Thanks, Michael.
So I want you guys to all do this. I want you guys, instead of thinking how hot the girl is, I want you to think, how much stimulus does she receive? And then that's going to correlate to the difficulty of having a non-chaotic relationship with her. So a lot of my female friends, you've seen them, I'm just friends with them. And why am I just friends with them? Because there's a lot of chaos that goes along with dating them. So we're just friends. Okay? You guys will see a lot of my female friends are very attractive, but we never took it any further because they have a ton of chaos in their life. I mean, we may or may not have slept together, but that's not the point. The point is we never pursued a relationship because there's so much chaos that I would have to deal with. For those of you guys who are watching online, just go ahead and on YouTube, join the free group. I'm going to pin this up to the top here. If you guys join the free group, it'll let you join our call on Zoom right now. All right, cool. One more thing, guys. Those of you who are asking questions in the chat, no, cannot ask questions in the chat. Got to ask questions with your camera on, or at least with your audio on. Let's go to Reza. Reza, what's your question? And unmute.
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
Thanks. Hi. So question is a couple questions. One, how low value is it to go out alone to a nightclub? Like just by yourself?
Great question. When I moved here, I went out by myself. I went out 63 nights in a row when I first moved here, and I went out by myself 75% of the time. Now, today, if I'm not with Kylie, I almost always go out by myself. I either go out by myself or with like 20 girls. There's no problem at all going out with that. Yeah, absolutely does not mean anything. It actually means that you probably don't have any approach anxiety and you're a bad motherfucker. It does not make any difference going out by yourself.
Okay, great.
Now, here's the crazy thing, Reza. If I go out by myself on a regular basis to, like, say, Zook on Thursday night, or if I go to Omnia on Tuesday night on a regular basis, and I know all the hosts and all the cocktail servers and all the regulars, and I even know the DJ. I was playing paintball with Steve Aoki yesterday. If I know all of them, if I go to Omnia when Steve Aoki's playing and I'm up on stage with Omnia with Steve Aoki and he gives me 5 and I'm sitting with a bunch of like hosts and girls that I know, am I by myself anymore? Am I by myself, Reza?
No.
Okay, so that sounds to me like you need to go out and get mirror exposure, and when you do that, you're not by yourself. There's nothing wrong with a man going out by himself. Nothing. And there's nothing wrong with a man not drinking when everyone else drinks also.
Got it. Now, kind of piggybacking off of that, is there a different sort of agenda when you're going out by yourself to do cold approach versus when you're trying to do the things that you do, which is like befriending the staff? And like, is there a different mindset when it comes to how you want to sort of tactfully?
It specifically isn't a different mindset. So what the problem is, when we assign different values to different people, our voice inflection, our eyes change, our head movement changes. Whenever it's like you're sitting there talking to your homeboy, you've known him for like 15 years. He comes over to your place while you're playing Grand Theft Auto. You're like, "What up, homie? Yo, what up?" You're like playing, you like fist bump. Yeah, oh, cool. What's good? Yeah, for sure. And then a hot girl comes up and you're like, "Hey, what's going on? Do you floss or brush?" "Yeah, oh, that's cool. You seem like an interesting person. Do you want to go with me and get a drink?" Wait, where was that fucking energy before, bitch? Where the fuck was that energy? Why is the energy switched? Because she has titties. Stop doing that. Guys, stop doing that. Stop giving women attention for non-contextualized sexuality, for an ass or tits. Stop giving women attention for that. Stop changing your behavior for them because of that. I love women, probably more than anybody on this call. They're amazing. They're awesome. They're funny. I love when I have them on my show. There's nothing going on sexual between me and Jessie Preston, and she's one of my good friends, and we argue all the time. Okay? But you'll also notice when I talk to Jessie, it's exactly the same as when I'm talking to you guys right now. I do not change my inflection because the girls are hot. If you don't believe me, go watch Access Vegas. If you want to see an example of guys changing their inflection when girls are hot, go watch any infield pickup video. "Hey guys, where you guys from? You guys from around here? Yeah? Cool. Well, you guys seem interesting. That's cute. Oh, what are you, Nicaraguan? Oh, that's a cool ethnicity. That's cute." That's what you'll see. Bro, I'm a dude. You didn't ask me what my ethnicity was. Why are you asking her? What the fuck? Why are you treating her any differently? Who here put one in the chat if you guys saw the dating show that I was the dating coach on like 2 weeks ago? And you guys see that? Oh shit, you guys haven't seen that shit. Oh, hold on. Maybe we can pull it up in the chat. Anybody have that? Let me see. I'm gonna pull that up for you. I'm gonna put it up in the chat. Can somebody go in interviews, go on my YouTube channel, go under interviews, and then it's one where I do it with what's his face? I Am Thompson. Let me get it here real quick. I'll find it here in a little bit. Anyway, if you guys watch, my YouTube name, John Hill, is Michael Sartain. So if you guys, yeah, it's Michael Sartain. So if you guys go on there, you'll see, if you go under the playlist called interviews, there's one I did with I Am Thompson. It's a speed dating thing. And if you guys watch that, you'll see this guy was like really screwing up because he kept asking the same questions and telling every girl on there how pretty she was. And it was like, bro, she didn't do anything to earn that. Okay. Shout out to Alan Roger Curry. Rest in peace. No free attention. No free attention. Fellas, write it in the chat. No free attention. No more. No more. No free attention. We still like, hey, what does Juicy J say? Juicy J says, these hoes ain't going to be loyal, not for anybody. You can catch them out for every party. Don't bring them around. There's just too much money. But what? But I still what? I still love these hoes. I know they're for everyone. I know they're not going to just be loyal to me, but I don't hate them for it. And do you know what I do instead? No free attention. It's fine. You say no to ratchet pussy, but Juicy J can't. Exactly. No free attention, guys. I'm just telling you, man, it's such a life-changing way. But the thing is, when I say no free attention, if a girl comes up to me and she's like, hey, man, what do you think about the Cowboys' chances this year? I'll be like, damn, man, I don't know, man. Dak Prescott did not have a great game against Green Bay last time, and they got some issues stopping the run, blah, 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 whatever. She can get, why is that? Because she didn't mash her titties together and try to get my attention. If she want to ask me a question like that, I'll give her an answer. But I'm not going to give her attention because she earned that attention. I'm not going to give her a girl who passes the bar exam, buys her own home, rescues an animal, gets married. She did something to earn attention. A girl who puts on a bikini didn't do anything to earn attention. Now, if she wins a fitness competition, you can like that because she put some work into that. Winning a fitness competition, that's hard to do. I will give you that. If a woman wins Miss America, it's okay to like that. That's a fucking hard. I know a lot about pageants. That's a hard thing to do. But if a woman is just showing her ass on Instagram and you like it, you are a simp. There is no other distinction. Unless you literally took the photo yourself. You're the photographer who actually took the photo. You are a simp. Sorry. It's just the way the world is. Okay. Yeah. Ty's giving you the correct advice here. You guys listen to Ty Buchanan. If you guys want to join in, you need to go down to reactions and you click raise your hand, and then I'll call on you. Okay. I'm not reading chats. I don't have time to read the chats. Reza, did that answer your question?
Yeah. Can I just ask you a quick other question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So social circle. I feel that I'm struggling with just getting girls to. I know it's like, okay. Can you just talk a little bit about how to friend zone properly? How to properly friend zone?
Reza,
like not
Reza, where'd you grow up?
Oh, grew up a lot of places. I live in Toronto now.
You live in Toronto now?
Yep.
It's cold as shit in the winter there, isn't
it? Yeah.
Are you a fan of the Argonauts or the Rough Riders or what? What are you a fan of the football teams up there?
Not really. Not a big sports guy, Michael.
Not as big sport. The party scene though, you guys have like a lot of rooftop shit going on up there, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Reza, I just friend zoned you. Just do that. You see, I didn't treat you any fucking different than I would anybody else. That's how you do it. You guys are looking for a thing to do. I'm telling you, there's no thing to do. You don't go up to your fucking guy friends and say, hey, you know what? Let's just be friends. You don't do that. So why are you doing it to a girl? Just treat them the same. You in your mind, just imagine they have a cock, bro. That's the best way to do it.
Okay.
Go up to Sally, just pretend Sally has a dick. How would you talk to her?
I got you.
Like, You voting for Biden this year? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
All right, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, just treat them all the same. Make them talk about themselves. Treat them all the same. Make them talk about themselves. Michael, what's your question? Michael, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, cool. Yo, Mike, is it cool if I ask you a sales question?
Yep, that's what I'm
I
here.
got two. So I've been like following Way of the Wolf philosophy pretty religiously when I got started in cold calling, and I noticed I've been getting a lot of rejections from it. So then recently I watched your podcast with Jeremy Miner, and I was just curious, do you have your setters follow like Way of the Wolf more, or have you gotten into Jeremy Miner's book and like what he talks about?
We probably are more into Cole Gordon right now. We haven't
Cole
taken
Gordon?
the minors course. Yeah.
Okay.
My guys do read Way of the Wolf, and most of my guys do follow hold on. Most of my guys do follow Jordan Belfort, and most of my guys do follow Cole Gordon, and most of my guys do follow Jeremy Miner.
Okay, gotcha. I just I was curious because I've been getting a lot of rejections because like I had this mindset of like boiler room sales. So I wasn't sure if like
you need a professional to listen or watch your sales calls and then kind of give you some feedback.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if my audio's low. I'm not sure what it is.
Guys, if I'm sorry, man, just let me know. Let me
And then I got a follow-up question for you. Yeah, your audio is low, but my second question is how do your setters
check.
Yeah, you're good.
Check. Is that better? Okay, cool. I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, it's not better. Guys, I apologize. I don't know. It looks like my thing shorted out. Is there any way to turn me up? It's better. Yeah, I'm looking at the mic stuff and it's fair. It'll get better. Oh, you know what I think it is? You know, I know what I think it's. Hey guys, how about now? Is that better? No. Check. No. All right. Check. Guys, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me okay, or is this too quiet?
It's like not as good as it was.
How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Oh, I cannot believe this. I'm kidding. I just recorded on OBS last night. Shouldn't be a problem like this. It's still 10. Oh, it's tinny. There? Okay. You said it's tinny. Okay, got it. I don't know what I just did, but it started working again.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. Yeah, there it is. It's fixed. Cool. All right, go ahead. What's the question?
So I was just wondering, like, how do you guys doing 400 calls a day? So, like, for example, are you doing like 3 dials at a time?
There's auto dialers. You could contact some of the guys on the sales team about that, but we have auto dialers that will go through a bunch of calls per day. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Well, I know some teams, they do 1,200 a day. They'll do 1,200 auto dials a day.
Really?
Per guy, per person. Yeah.
Cause are you well, I guess like I should just probably connect with someone on the sales team and just ask them about this.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. All right, that's it for me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Scotty, what's your question? Scotty, you got to unmute yourself.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Doing good.
When the next time you come back home to Dallas?
I'll probably be there. I might come back before Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving for sure. I'll be back there.
No
Probably
Cowboy
do Purple
games?
Pill podcast. I don't know
Okay.
about the, I mean, I would go to a Cowboy game for sure.
Okay, man. How do older men do in your program?
Really well. There's a lot of them. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 55.
Yeah, there's a few. Joe Marone is with, he lives with me now. I think 51, 52. I forgot. And then, uh, what's his name? Johnny Walker's 50. There's quite a few that are in their 50s. Yeah, Doc Mike Excellence. Ty is putting, yeah, Mike is in his 70s. If you want to look in the
Wow.
chat, Ty is putting some guys who are over 50 in the chat that you can see. It's a lot of them. Sergio is 53, I think. He's in the course. They do really well, actually, because a lot of times, they give themselves permission being in their 50s. They're like level of I give a fuck kind of gets turned down because you're in your 50s. You don't give a fuck. You don't give that much a fuck. When I turned 40, bro, my level of give a fuck turned way down. I
Yeah.
didn't care. I didn't give a shit. I used to care about what I look like all the time. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, so that starts to change. You also come to the realization it's like you do things that make you money, protect your family, and protect your family, protect your girl, protect your money. And then everything else you just don't give a shit about. People talk shit to you, you don't care anymore. So a lot of times when we got guys in their 50s, they're set financially, okay?
Yeah.
And then they give themselves permission. What we got to work on is physique, and we got to work on charisma, and we got to work on the concept of female friends, because a lot of times guys that are older just they don't understand that.
Okay, I don't have a problem with any of that. I'm pretty well set off. I don't know. Well, you probably know Price Pick. I'm behind the team that built that. So,
Okay.
and
Oh, but I got a friend who's 50 who lives there. You know Justin Martin?
yeah, I heard of him. Yeah.
I just got hit. Yeah, Justin's my friend.
Okay.
He's 50,
Okay.
and that dude is Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio. That guy's slaying from both sides of the plate. That guy's crushing it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I live in a gym. I work at
Yeah.
a gym called Destination X in Allen. So,
Okay.
I live in a gym. So that's not a problem. The problem with me is I just got a relationship about 6 months ago, and I haven't been able to shake it. But I'm doing the best I can.
I mean, Scotty, you can only take my word for it. I think the program would be absolutely perfect for you. We deal with breakups. We deal with custody battles. We deal with the gentlemen that are older. We deal with people just got out of the military. We deal with the like transitional periods in your life is something that we focus on very much.
Yeah, picking up the ladies.
And also, Scotty,
Well,
a lot of times also, if you're financially successful, you might be able to help some of the other guys in the course who may be younger and are trying to get better with women, but aren't financially successful. You know what I'm saying?
just like the young man you just had from Indiana,
Yeah.
he just needs some encouragement.
Yeah, for sure. But you live in Allen, Texas. There's plenty to do out there.
Oh no, I live downtown Dallas.
Oh, there's plenty to do out there. I used to work at the Ticket, Sports Radio 1310. I used to work there.
Oh yeah,
over there at Victory Plaza. Yeah, I used to work at the Ticket. Yeah,
so you know
friends
Chris
with TC.
Arnold.
Yeah, I used to work. I was Chris Arnold's intern for one summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
For sure.
I know that's a good friend of mine.
Yeah. Well, remember, see if Chris Arnold remembers a guy who worked with him a long time ago named Michael Sartain and went to Texas. We would meet up for Texas OU because Chris Arnold's a Sooner.
Yes, he is. He's big time Sooner, and he probably will remember you too.
Yeah. So, we went to go see Al Green together one time. We went.
Cool.
He took me to that concert. He got free tickets to the concert.
Cool.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Cade, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
I had two questions for you. Number one, how do I stop one of my homeboys from sharing info that I give him with his girlfriend? There was a situation.
Bro, how do you have these advanced problems, man? That is crazy. That is absolutely, bro. I know. Everybody else is like, bro, I have the same problem. So you're saying that you have private conversations with your homeboy and he snitches on you to his girl? Is that what you're saying?
Not snitches, but it's not intentional. It doesn't make it any better, but it's like he'll just drop it in conversation, and he's not a snake. He's been my best friend for years. It's not like he's meaning any harm by it. So it's just like, yeah, pretty much Anthony.
But he's doing this to his girl, right? Not your girl.
Yes. He just dropped it in conversation.
Yeah, Ty's correct. I would go with anytime you want to, anytime it's a difficult conversation and you want to go into it where you don't have any like malice towards a person and you want them to not have malice back, Crucial Conversations is the best book for that. It's like Crucial Conversations is how you have a conversation with your aunt who's very overweight. You're like, hey, we need to consider doing some things to get your weight down. There's ways to do it without embarrassing them. That's why I love that book.
And that's my plan. I haven't had the chance to talk to him yet. It'll be tomorrow before I talk to him. But I was just like, man, he told me he told her at like a week or two ago, and I was just like, hey, dude, I'm like, I hope that doesn't cause any issues. And he's like, no, it won't. It'll be fine. And who would have thunk it? It caused an issue, and it was just like a misinterpretation from her end, and that it got spread around differently, and it was just like it just caused unnecessary drama. And
of course.
Which the whole thing it stemmed from was an event I had, a container event I had at my house, and she thought that I invited another girl to make her jealous. His girlfriend did, and that was hilarious to me. I was like, the last thing I want at any container event is problems. I don't want anybody fighting or having issues. Like,
that's crazy, bro. How old are these people we're talking about?
16-year-olds.
God dang, man. What in the world? That is nuts. Listen, just be careful. I'll tell you this, man. If you're going to keep leveling up, and if he doesn't level up at the same rate with you, he's probably still going to be your friend, but just get ready. There's usually some kind of weird acrimony that happens.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
You can't trust your doorman. You can't even trust your bro, Juicy J. Yeah.
The other question I had for you is, I don't know that this would necessarily be an issue, but if I were to start a relationship with somebody who is maybe slightly above me in a sense, but I don't necessarily see it that way, but other people do. Would it be like, and I'm going up and like I'm self-improving constantly. So it's like, if I were going to catch up at a pretty fast rate, would that be all right? That you don't think that would cause any issues, would it?
No, bro. He's telling me at 16, yo, what if I date girls that are too hot? Are the seniors going to come after me? Like, it's a real thing, man. I mean, it's a concern. I will tell you, I mean, I get a ton of hate. It's just something you're going to have to deal with. When you make more money, the government wants more taxes. Always remember that. Right?
Take my card and charge it to the game.
Yeah, just charge it to the game. And it's just one of these things you're going to have to, like, there's a price to pay. We always have a burden. And when we fulfill our burden better than other people, we get rewarded more than other people. And in doing so, we got to pay more taxes. We got more pay. Like, think of taxes as being like haters. We made more money, got more haters. Got more money, got to pay more taxes. That's just it.
Sir.
And you look at it like that with no emotion. When I pay my taxes, no emotion. Oh, that's hilarious. Miguel from Dollar Cost Crypto for Rolo's birthday is going to get him a framed picture of Pearl Davis. We're going out for Rolo's birthday tomorrow night. There's always some taxes to pay. Good questions, Kate. Kate, yeah. I'm not saying do not trust the guy, but if he keeps doing it, then you can't share stuff with him anymore. You need to put him in a different circle. He's not in your circle 1. He's in circle 2 now. Okay. Beautiful. Kurt, what's your question?
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Good.
Can you pause the recording real quick?
I cannot because we are live on YouTube.
Maybe we can do it later then. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, man. John, what's your question? John Owley? John, there he is. John Owley.
Hi, Michael.
What's going on?
I wanted to ask you, so in the previous call, I attended a couple of charity events in London, and you advised to take like red carpet photos. So I've got like tons of red carpet photos of all the influencers, the female influencers.
You sent them their photos?
No, like me and them. Like you said to get photos. Yeah, so I've got loads of me with all these girls who are.
You can also give them their own photos and just give it to them. You just want open threads.
Right. Well, my question is basically whether I should be posting these photos of me and these influencers on the red carpet, because it's like I'm not like particularly friends with them, and it kind of makes me look like a fanboy, right? and it's
So,
you know, for
so it,
pre-selection, right? But
yeah, but it depends on how do they look in the photo. Do they look excited to be near you or not?
they are leaning towards me. They are smiling. Um, it's not awkward. I don't think it's not awkward. I mean, I've got loads of them. Like I've got ones that were.
Yeah, I find the ones that were good, and I would post them, and I would post them as a story, and then see if you get a good reaction, and then if you get a good reaction, I might post it on your grid. But for me, it's like there's this thing. I listen to girls say this sometimes, like, "Yeah, we can tell that those girls don't like you." And they can't. They actually can't. If they see a guy with attractive women, they can't tell. They'll say they can, they cannot. And so if the photo shows compliance, you're good. I don't really think it makes any difference.
Well, the thing is, like, you know, specifically me, Corey, I've been speaking to, and he says that it makes it harder to attract the girls you might want, like maybe the girls you want to marry, or it makes you look like a fanboy, he says. He's like, there's no point in showing pre-selection because,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
I mean, Corey and I disagree on this. This is why we have two different programs, but like, I just think it speaks for itself. Like, just show compliance. You just show like when you show compliance, it's really crazy what happens.
Okay, so it's just a
works.
different perspective from, you know, you and him disagreeing.
Yeah, like the other thing with Corey is Corey's a really good looking guy. So like for Corey to show very little pre-selection, he doesn't have to. But like the idea that like a photo like this is gonna hurt you is preposterous. It is not. Or it may hurt you 2% and help you 3,000%. Preposterous. And you know it's preposterous, but it's hard to get photos of.
If it's like a church girl, she'll be like, what the hell are you if you want to attract
so somebody, I mean, John, you've been in this program long enough to know that there's no difference. It's how much stimulus they receive. It's not church girl. God, dude, I wish I could have like all the male strippers on the city come on this call and then tell you about the church girls that they banged while they cheated on their boyfriend when they came to Vegas. You really don't seem to understand, John. Attraction is men being attractive to women. It's not men being attracted to good women or bad women.
Right. So you're saying it's all is the same, whether whatever girl is the same.
I have found my girlfriend's from Southwest Arkansas. Goes to church. What do you want me to? What do you want, John? I mean, yes. What do you want me to tell you? Yes, absolutely. If you met some of the girls that Bulgarian had dated, like previously, they were like very homely, down to earth. They were really young girls that were just good girls, but Dan was attractive to them. This idea that there's like good guy attraction and bad guy attraction. John, say it with me. Status is status is status. Okay.
Status is
status, right? So you just think about your good girl. You're walking up to your good girl. She's going to marry you. And then here's Logan Paul. And he comes up and goes, "Hey, what up, girl?" She doesn't even notice you. Wait, what happened though? I thought you were the good guy though. And you guys were going to get married though. No, there was more stimulus over here. So she looked over here where the stimulus was.
Okay. So compliance is the key there. But also, like, what about, like, he's saying, like, my profile, I've been working it for a year or two, and it's kind of maxed in terms of, like, the photos are all, like, maxed, he says. And he says it's too much to add on pre-selection on it as well. And that kind of makes it, like, too much. Is that possible?
Well, John, you absolutely can show no pre-selection and have a ton of success with Instagram. You definitely can. That's where he and I agree. The difference is where we disagree is I think using pre-selection is the single most effective thing you can do. And what happens is guys, especially really good looking guys, will look at guys doing this and be like, you look try hard. But then when you ask the guys who do it, they all say the same thing. Man, I'm getting a fucking ton of attention from women. So you make the decision what you want to do.
Why do some guys decide not to, like Vincent, and, you know, some guys decide not to do it?
It's usually because of their job, or they may already be in a relationship, or they're really good looking and they just don't need to do it, or they crush it on social media apps, or some other thing where they only like put the pre-selection stuff on their close friends list. That's why. John, if you had some way to transmit that women found you attractive and you didn't need to use social media, you don't need any pre-selection photos. But the problem is we need to use social media. And by the way, I would not have a problem with you using 0 pre-selection photos and only having pre-selection stories that are in highlights on your top board there. I would be fine with that. Or only have pre-selection stuff going on in your close friends list. I would be fine with that also.
Okay, got it. Understand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's
whatever you're comfortable with. What I'll tell you though is I'm comfortable with all of it, and it doesn't, like, the thing is, of course, Corey is one of my favorite people in the world, but like, what he's saying is a function of opinion and like, but it can't be like, look at this photo, dude. It can't be empirically correct. Does that make sense? Or else this wouldn't happen.
It's not just him. Like Ashcan also says that he has to deal with it, where girls will be pulling him up.
But they're dealing with 1/100th as many girls as I am. So again, you make up your mind.
Okay.
If you think this hurts you, that's just crazy. It doesn't hurt you, dude.
It's not that it hurts you. It's just that you have to explain to them why you're with these girls.
You have to, okay, now we've gotten to it, bro. You have to explain to them. Bro, I explain fucking nothing to anyone. Rule number 6. Nobody needs to know who you're fucking. Nobody needs to know how much money you're making. You have to explain to them? I don't explain anything.
Well, because you're a host, you're bikini competition.
No, even if I wasn't a host, it wouldn't be a matter. I'd be like, oh yeah, these are my friends, whatever. Explain to them, bro. Here's the problem. Here's what's going on. I'm not talking about Ashkan and Corey specifically, but there's a lot of men out there who have women come up to them and say things like, I don't like it when you do this. When in reality, the thing she's saying is exactly what she does like. You could take my word for it or not. It's up to you. You're going to learn one way or the other, John.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, all of us who are doing this my way, none of us are like, you know what sucks is that the girls are like, I don't want to settle down with you because you're not a good guy. I have never heard a single guy say that to me. Not one single time.
Okay. I think I have to just test it out and see. Yeah.
I would love that. Why don't you do that?
So the other one about monogamy, like you said, it's not the natural state. Then why do we do it, or why should we do it? I mean, what would be in the natural state?
Such a great question. So the natural state for humans is a lifetime of polygyny interspersed with periods of monogamy. And I said that in front of Dr. Buss, and he agreed with me. Okay. That is, if you look at the historical record, that's the way it generally works. Maybe you fall in love with your high school sweetheart, and then you have another person that you date for a little while in college, and then you get married to a dude. You know, a woman gets married to a dude, and then they're married for 10 or 20 years, and then they get divorced, and then she sees one more. Like, maybe that's how we're like 4 loves of your life, whatever. It's a lifetime of polygamy interspersed with small periods of monogamy. And that's generally what we've seen. Monogamy is great because monogamy is the fuel upon which society depends. Families are the economic basis with which we can use to produce, and that production allows us to, through our taxation, protect our country with military spending and government aid and infrastructure and stuff like that. Does that make sense? When men are out rowdy, fighting, getting drunk, they're less productive. When they have a mortgage and 2 kids at home, they go to work every day. That's why monogamy is encouraged. And the other thing why encourage monogamy works is because those guys at the top, when they take one wife instead of 6 girls that they're dating, then those 6 girls can go down a couple of levels. So the guys in the bottom quartile at least have one wife.
Yeah.
A man with no wife or no options whatsoever, that's where you get the anger, the fucking school shootings, and the fucking strapping bombs to your chest. That's the frustration comes from that.
So how do we deal with it if we have options? Like, if you get married, and if you're saying it's like periods, so do you get divorced and then you go in polygamy and then you get married again?
No, I don't. Again, you remember the difference between descriptive and normative. I'm not telling you should get divorced. I'm telling you people get divorced previous to you. I'm not telling you it's right or wrong. I'm just describing it to you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, how do you manage that then? Because you know the divorce rate is really high, and married men.
John, like, again, don't be John Owley for a second. Be the rest of the world. How do they manage it?
They work really hard on their marriage, or they just divorce.
Yeah. You want some other crazy answer from me, and I can't give it to you. Like, I can't use telekinesis to make someone else believe what I believe. If you are dating someone who fundamentally does not see the world the same way that you do, then eventually you're going to break up. And like, it sucks because, especially if you have kids, you don't want to do that. But it's like one of these things where it's like, you are only responsible for your mind. Here's a difficult one. When you completely have a total internal locus of control, and you come to the recognition that you're totally and completely responsible for your own behavior, but your partner isn't. Your partner does not have an internal locus control and does not believe that they are responsible for their own behavior. You have a fundamental disagreement on how the world works. And because of that, then it's going to be hard for you guys to be together. But you can't change their belief. So there's going to be a breakup. That's just the way the world works.
Yeah, you just have to accept the breakup.
You just have to accept it. That's correct. Now, if you can find someone where you have a fundamental understanding, you both understand that your feelings are something that you can transcend, and your behavior is something you can control, then you can stay together forever.
And do you believe in marriage and getting married?
I do. I believe in it. I believe we're not doing it the right way right now. I believe the state in some ways, or in a lot of ways, incentivizes quick divorce. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. Some people do need to get divorced. I'm not a staunch, I'm not like a staunch Catholic or something where I'm like, oh, divorce isn't real. I think people go, the thing you should be looking for first is happiness and contentment. And then while you're in that state, finding someone to join you. Instead, what people are looking for is, people are unhappy, not content, and what they're looking for is marriage, with the belief that marriage is somehow going to fix their lack of happiness and their lack of contentment. Okay? I'm just, in generalization, I find that women tend to have this problem more than men. Women are like, what's your goal? And the woman says, my goal is to be married this year, or my goal is to have a baby before I'm 30. Men do not speak that way. Men say, my goal is to have $1 million before I'm 30. You see the difference?
Yeah. So it's just that the way that it's set up now is incentivizing divorce. So that's why it's not a good idea to get married, probably.
There's definitely an argument for not getting married also. Right. But there's, I do truly believe the best household to raise a child is with two caring parents. And for that reason, above all else, that's why I'm pro-marriage.
Okay. One last one, if possible. It's just, is it true that Dan Bilzerian's advocating monogamy now is better than sleeping around?
No, I talked to him. I don't want to show you the fucking screenshot, but I messaged him. I was like, hey, bro, they just made Valuetainment just made a video about you, or just made this clip. He goes, oh, hell, they're trying to make me out to be the good guy here. No, Dan had more threesomes this month than you guys will in your whole life. Stop. Just fucking stop that shit. No, they just took one small clip out of an interview he did and tried to make it like they just took it out of context. What he's saying is true. Like the part about like you've just experienced so much stimulus that you stop to appreciate things. It's true. When we're at Dan's house, we're playing paintball yesterday. Like the guns are the best guns that are possible. It's the best paint possible. It's incredible. Like everything is just top tier. Afterwards, his chef comes in and literally the best hamburger I've ever had in my life I had yesterday at Dan's house. Everything is just 10 out of 10, 5-star. And you start to lose perspective. Again, when he was betting $50,000 a hand, he's like, he lost perspective on how much money meant. It distorted his beliefs about money. That's all he's commenting about. That's really what he's commenting about. He's commenting about excessive dopamine spikes more so than he's saying monogamy is a good thing because what happens is you don't have the excessive dopamine spikes. He's talking about it being a successful strategy, but he's not talking about it being the only successful strategy or that's his strategy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, got it. Just depends on what you want, really, at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah, Dan is not getting married.
Yeah.
I literally was with Dan the day he broke up with his girlfriend like a couple weeks ago. He's not getting married. Okay. It's not even close. Cool. Awesome.
Thanks.
Cameron, what's your question? What's going on, Cameron?
Yo, hello. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm in college right now and I see like a lot of really attractive girls on campus, but I just cannot approach. Like I don't know what's in me. I just cannot do it.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's an issue that you have, a couple things I would recommend is probably kind of join some kind of social group where you can garner a bunch of friends and then start going out to different events with a group of friends. That actually, when I approach someone and I have friends with me, it makes it a lot easier. The other thing that I would do is I would gamify it in your mind. So tonight, your goal is to approach 50 people, not to get a good reaction. And I understand it's a little difficult because you're in college. And so you do
Mm.
have some connection with these people. But I always try to gamify it. I'm like, I'm going to go up, and my goal tonight is to go up and talk to 50 people. It's not to go try to take a girl home.
Okay.
You change
Yeah.
like I'll tell you right now, Cameron, if you became a club promoter tomorrow and you knew in order to make rent, you had to get a bunch of girls into a club, that fear of approaching women would immediately go away. Because you would change the perspective of what it is that you were doing in your mind. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
And like I said, the ultimate cheat code is just walk up to girls with girls. Have girls with you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's all. That's the only question I had.
Yep.
Thank you.
Love it. Eric P., what's your question? And hold on. No, where? I just lost you. Hold on. Here you go. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Eric.
Thank you. I was trying to, but it wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mike, hey, everybody else. So Mike, following your advice about IG and how to set it up and the types of pictures to put on and such, but say eventually, like as summer goes on, I plan to have more women in my life. It's already started pretty well. Things are rolling smoothly. And I do want to put up some good pictures.
Wait. Why are things going better? Why?
I joined MOA 3 weeks ago.
Got it. What have you changed though?
Basically just how I'm interacting with people, making more female friends, just as many as possible, just adding so many people to IG, just like ramping it up.
Okay.
I've got a couple questions on that actually. I'm a professional engineer. I'm an aerospace engineer actually. I do contract work. I'm between gigs right now, but I've got some things cooking, and my IG is public. I'm just worried that as time may go on in the summer, if I'm say at pool parties or I live in a condo with a rooftop pool, I'm going to be posing with women in bikinis and such. I'm worried what recruiters and professionals may think of that.
Perfect. So here's that goes. Level 1 is your grid. Level 2 is your story, and level 3 is your friends list, close friends list. Got it?
Yep.
If you're really worried about this, put the pre-selection stuff at level 3, or just don't put it up at all.
Yeah. Okay. Because yeah, it was more like the pre-selection stuff I'm trying to, would hope to use in the future, but okay. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Yeah. There's nothing offensive about being around girls in bikinis. The thing that bothers people is when they're really pretty. And then all of a sudden they're like, it catches their attention and it makes them feel some kind of way. Like, why am I not there? This doesn't feel right. Those girls, like, it's just something about that drives them crazy. The other thing is when they survey men think women are more interested in them when the women are more attractive. Not more attracted, more attractive. And so what'll happen is you'll have a girl who's very attractive and she's in a bikini, and then women will be like, look at that girl, she's acting slutty. No, she isn't. She's just attractive.
Exactly.
You've confused attractive for slutty. And so that's where the problem comes. If you had a bunch of girls that just had like muffin tops, just regular average bodies, and you're just out at the pool eating like fucking barbecue or whatever, and your recruiter saw it, they would not care.
Of course not.
Does that make sense?
Exactly. But the thing is, some of the women I've been hanging out with, they're very attractive. Like,
do you have any do you have any pre-selection photos right now?
Yeah. Go ahead and share my IG if you'd like.
No, it's fine. I just wanted John Owley to hear that. I just needed John to hear that. Like, again, no, I love Corey's program. I talked to Austin Dunham. Austin loves Corey. Corey's great. But we just fundamentally disagree on this. What I'm saying is Corey has a very, very clear understanding of a very strong strategy for getting girls on IG, and I have a different one. But mine encompasses both. Mine encompasses a way of doing it with no pre-selection and a way of doing it with pre-selection. Ashkan and Corey believe that pre-selection hurts you, but no, what it is it doesn't hurt you. They're listening to stories women are telling them, and they think that those stories are real. Instead of coming to the realization is like, no, that's just not correct. You just don't need to worry about it.
Okay. Another thing, it was, you mentioned about going out alone and such. Of course, for you, you've built such a rapport through your life. You can go to a bunch of places, but say, for example, I'm going to walk into a bar or a restaurant or whatever. I guess it's just a matter of get to know the servers or bartenders, barmaids, and just keep building on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you want mere exposure. So like I said before, somebody said, hey, Michael, is it weird if you go out alone? Well, if I go out to Omnia right now, I know 7 of the door hosts. I know all of the security guards. I know the DJ. I know the DJ's photographer, and I know the owner of the club. So am I really alone?
No.
Okay, so that's because I go out to the same places over and over again.
Okay, so you
I'm gonna go see DJ. I'm gonna go see DJ Pickle Thursday.
Okay, you're basically saying just go to find a place that you like, keep going if it's good, and just keep building rapport, and you'll never be alone anyway.
And favor industry nights over weekend nights.
Oh, can you elaborate?
Yeah, so industry nights are just like they're just more fun people who go out later and are just open to having more fun. Weekend nights is it's the overweight tourists.
Yeah,
kind of
that's the thing. That's where it's a bit tough for me because I will be working again another 9 to 5 job. That's kind of my role in engineering.
Then the weekend's fine.
Okay, I've always been kind of a weekend warrior and trying to do more Tuesday nights because here in Montreal, I've been finding out that Tuesday nights are pretty good, but it makes for a pretty rough next day.
I told you, man. Every city's got incredible industry parties. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for now. Thank you very much.
I'm trying some caffeine gum. Let's see how well this works. Mark, what's going on, man? What's going on, Mark?
Excuse me, caught me eating ice cream, but a long time ago, several weeks ago, I finished my list and I had all the replies I'm going to get. So I'm ready to move on to the next step after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next step is to find events to invite people to.
Yeah, I said I haven't been able to. That why I haven't been on chatting for a while is that 3 people were forced to quit from my work for starting a love triangle. So I've been working every other extra shift available to cover for these jabronis.
Hey, put a 1 in the chat if you want to hear the story about the love triangle at Mark's fucking work. Mark, tell us more about the love triangle. What happened? You have to work extra hours because some people were fucking at your work. Tell us more.
I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get fired because this is a public forum. So
oh my God, it was so great. Oh, did you work at FTX? That's hilarious. Oh my God.
No, I
So
work
funny.
I'm not gonna say the name. People can figure it out probably looking at my social media. I work at a liquor store. So a big chain liquor
seems
store.
like there's lots of
red
liquor,
sign
lots
on
of
the West
liquor
Coast.
going on. Nothing.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. Is now that I have more time, I'll be actually looking up events to invite people to.
Yeah, that's definitely what you should do. Just go on the forum, find some events. What city are you in, Mark?
I'm in Sacramento.
Dude, there you go. Plenty of places.
Yeah. What the?
Hold on. I don't know.
What in the world?
All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, basically that's my thing. I'm probably gonna have to find somebody on the forums who's in this area who might be able to help me out. That's another thing I was going to ask about. So
that's definitely something you should do. But yeah, the next step is you need open threads. So you're going to invite people to events that maybe you can go to, maybe you can't, maybe they can go to, maybe they can't. I invite people who live in Europe to parties in LA all the time. And all I want is an open thread. All I want with step 3 are open threads. Got it?
yeah, I'm going to invite all the women I'd open threads with to some event in Sacramento eventually.
Okay, but it doesn't have to be. You can invite them to the Maxim party in Los Angeles also. You just want open threads. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Gabe, what's your question, Gabe?
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, so I got a question for you. What is like the best possible way to vent out an agreement so you and your guy friends won't have to compete with the same girl?
So it's weird. I think you got Bluetooth. Something's wrong with your Bluetooth, bro. Can you get off the Bluetooth?
Yeah, give me one sec.
That was really hard to listen to. we lose him? Yeah. Okay. We can't hear you right now. We'll get back to you in a little bit. Raise your hand again. Eric Tang. Eric, what's your question? Hold on.
Hey, Michael. So
What's going on?
I've been doing social circle for about like a year and a half now, and
Okay.
things have gone really well. It's
Hold
beginning
on.
to like kind of
Eric, do you have pre-selection photos on your IG?
Of course I do.
I want John Alley to hear that. John, I understand I truly understand what they're saying, but at some point, gravity is real. The sky is blue. At some point, we get to like ultimate truths, and one of the ultimate truths is make choice copying. It is, and no matter how like try hard it feels, it still works. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my network has legitimately gotten quite big now. I know people in different industries, different occupations, and I'm kind of wondering where the line is, where you would kind of draw the line between being too eager to help people just off the rip, or being too eager to kind of like connect people just off the rip, and kind of coming off like maybe too nice.
So two different things. I can be nice and still maintain boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. Let me help you with whatever you want. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, cool. Can I have some money? I'm like, well, no, I can't loan you any money, but is there any other way I can help you out? Okay, sounds good. I'm going to get out. Well, in the blah, 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 they just run your ear. I was like, oh, I got to take off now, man. Good to meet you, brother. I'm still kind, nice, but I have boundaries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I understand personal boundaries. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And if you're having trouble to the point where you feel like people are taking advantage of you because you don't have boundaries, it's because you're changing your behavior when they have different levels of status.
I see. Yeah, because the main thing I was afraid of was I just met this person and does it look like, why is this guy helping me so quickly off the rip? You know?
Yeah, it happens to me too. They're like, I'll hit somebody up. There's some people who think I hate them online. I hit them up, and the first thing I'll be like, hey man, if you're ever in Las Vegas, I'll set you up, yada yada, whatever you need. And they're like confused. They're like, why is this guy willing to help me so much?
Mm-hmm.
No, I've seen it. I'll tell you one thing though, I'd rather be that than the other way.
Makes sense.
And the most successful guys I know, like Dan Fleischman or Brad Lee, would help me in 2 seconds if I asked them to, and they wouldn't even be it wouldn't even seem weird.
Yeah, because I remember you mentioned like how Dan Fleischman had this strategy where it's like he wanted to help people and just expect nothing in return, and he's just been able to cultivate this massive circle of it.
Do as much as you can for other people and ask for nothing in return. That's exactly right.
Correct. Okay, makes sense. Thank you. Oh, and I know you're heading to New York in this month. When are you coming here, and how long are you staying?
I'll be there in May. In May. I'll be in New York.
How long are you going to be staying?
I might stay for a week. I'm not sure. It just depends on if I can get on some podcasts.
Gotcha, man. Okay, sounds good,
All right, man. Take care.
Right, take care.
Terrence, what's your question? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Oh, man, I didn't see this coming. I never thought I'd ever talk to you. To be honest with you, I watch a lot of your content.
I appreciate it, Terrence. What question do you have?
Yeah, so I have two questions because I just joined MOA about like a day or two ago, and also I just watched your course about the Instagram, about changing your Instagram, and I definitely need to fix some stuff up. But and I noticed that you was talking about how when you go to a club, you know basically the important people that's there. You know the security, you know the DJ, you know the manager, right? So first off, I'm at Fort Polk, Louisiana, right? PSC, and the closest place is Houston or New Orleans or whatever the case may be. So when you go to these places, how do you go about like engaging the manager? How do you go about, making friends with the DJ? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you go about in that field?
Yeah. So one of the things you're going to find is that men don't have a problem with that. Like last night when I was talking to Steve Aoki, he just came up to me afterwards and he was like, yo, how'd you do that last game? And it's like, cause he's not a hot female. There's no like guard up. Men talking to other men is not a problem. If you ever believe me, like go to a real estate convention and ask a guy for his card. Every guy will give you their card. Like men are just, you just need to think of it like, okay, here's another way to consider it. Imagine you opened a restaurant. somewhere in your city, and you know restaurants have a high likelihood of going out of business. Restaurants have a really bad reputation of going out of business. They're really hard to keep one popular for a long time. You come up to the GM of the restaurant on the first day and you're like, I just want to let you know, yeah, I brought some girls here today and I just wanted them to see this place. I'm really impressed with your menu. And I just want to say, man, we had a really great time here today. I promise you that guy will always remember you because he's so not, I don't know, insecure, but he's very, very attuned to his restaurant because he owns it. And so you had a conversation with someone who's very high status in that arena, and they're like, and they appreciate you being complimentary. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
This is the reason why, like, when Cathedral opened and Aria, Jason Strauss invited me because I was going to come and then I was going to talk about Cathedral on my show. Right? So it's really easy to talk to the answer. There's no technique. Men going up and talking to other men is super easy. Hey, brother, what's going on, man? I'm looking for a job. Hey, brother, what's going on? Which way should I go for whatever? Men talking to other men is super easy.
And another thing too. So, like I said, I just joined MOA, and I'm kind of trying to like get in touch, with more guys that's part of the group or whatever the case may be. So, like, there was this one guy I DM'd earlier on here, and they're asking like, hey, he's prior service too, and I was asking like, hey, do you know of anyone who might be at MOA that I could get in touch with that's close, etc., so I could get up with them, like in person and try to work out some things and shit like that. And I want to know how can I navigate of finding guys who are at MOA.
Yeah, the forum. The MOA, the forum has 3,300 people on it. Just go to the forum, and then go in the member section on school and just ask, "What city are you in?"
Right now, I'm at Fort Johnson.
Fort Johnson's in where, Indiana?
Yeah, Louisiana. They call it Fort Polk.
There's two or three guys that we have that are out there. I would just look and see if there's any other Louisiana guys that are in MOA. I would just go I would go in the forum, and then I would go in the member section, and in both places say, anybody here in Louisiana or East Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let's go to NDMR.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for your shit, man. I appreciate it too. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a quick, I've been going out with my body and shit like that. How do you deal with, when a lot of people start approaching you and shit? But mostly like I got, people approach me and, I was talking to this girl and I don't know where, like how do you set boundaries? Because, I don't know where they kiss you. Like, how can you fucking, hey, take it easy, and she's, how do you respectfully reject, and continue with the move?
When do you mean who's approaching you? You got to be a little bit more specific.
Oh, well, girls, of course. Like, so I was talking, to this girl and, just having like conversation and I don't know where, like just, like, I know I'm just trying to build, just having a normal conversation, but, they kiss you out of nowhere, right? I don't mind, but it's just like, I'm not used to like how to respectfully, you say treat them like your body, right? How can you, continue, like, I'm just trying to build the circle, right? I'm not looking exactly, because I'm looking for a girlfriend and specifically no monogamy.
What city are you
in? Vancouver.
Okay. I really wouldn't worry about this. Like, I just don't care if girls are like being overtly flirty, like it doesn't hurt you. I just would move on. Like, I don't really see as a man why we should be affected by any of that.
Okay. But what do you do when it's a fat girl?
You just say, hey, it's nice to meet you. Just keep on moving.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Okay. No, appreciate that, man. You're not just improving. Okay.
Awesome, man. Let's keep it going here. The problem is a bunch of girls are coming up and talk to you. That's not my specialty. I just let them talk to you. It doesn't matter. Again, I've said this before, guys. If a dude comes up and grabs a girl's ass in a club, she should turn around and have his ass kicked out of the club. I get it. If a girl comes up and grabs your butt in the club and you have her kicked out, that's just weird. You can do it if you want. I just think like we're men. We just get bumped into and shoved and punched and kicked more. We just deal with it more. It's just not that big of a deal to me, right? It's not something like, it's not like a hard burden we have to carry if someone flirts with you. I just don't think it's a big deal. Let's go to Roper. Stephen Roper, what's your question?
Hey, Mike. All right, so I'm gonna be quick because I know you got more people. But Mike, a lot of my female friends, like, why do you think is it that so many people are anti your like you? Like, my female friends give me so much shit for like whenever I post stuff, even at interview, they still give me shit for like your content. Like, what is it about like this content that women are so like anti?
Well, let me ask you a question. If it didn't work, would they care?
I don't know, bro. I'm not sure because I don't know. Like, I don't
just consider if it didn't work, if it just did nothing, had no effect on anyone, like you got no benefits from it, would they care? Steven, if I walk around and I'm screaming outside, the sky is green, the sky is green, are your friends going to complain about that? No, because it's not living in reality. The problem is I'm saying things that are, to their estimation, their front brain is like, there's no way that would work. Their hind brain is like, yeah, that would probably work. I don't like the fact that they know this. I don't like the fact that they know these secrets. I don't like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Here's the simplest way to explain it. When you do things that build attraction, you're gaining power and she's kind of like respectively losing power in respect to you gaining power. When you do things that build comfort, she's actually gaining power and you're losing power. She still feels more comfortable with you, but you guys have to understand this. So when she goes, let's bring me like puppies and unicorns and bring me flowers, that's comfort. That's comfort. When she talks about the guy who like took her and fucked her in Cancun, there was no puppies and uniforms and flowers. There were like, a hot guy came up to me and talked to me and we were dancing all night and took Molly and fucking drank. And attraction. Do you guys see attraction? And this is comfort. So what a lot of times when you describe comfort or attraction triggers to women, they'll be like, no, that's not how I want to be known. But if you ask them, do you know any girls that have done that before? Like, knew a guy was a huge player and fucked him anyway. And she's like, yeah, I know a bunch of girls, but I'm not like that. You guys have to learn to pay attention to what they do and not what they say. You'll just do way better. And the very fact that I just said what I said should not be offensive to anyone. If someone was like, hey, Michael's duplicitous, pay attention to what he does and not what he says, I wouldn't be offended because I do what I say.
Yeah.
Why would I be offended? I'd be offended if I didn't do what I say. If what I said and what I did were two different things. And also, like, you notice, I don't get mad. There's a bunch of like weird cucks that are out there saying that like I'm not even 6 feet tall or something. I don't care at all. In fact, I would love it if you guys thought I was 5'6". It would help my business tremendously. But like, you don't see me like reacting to it because it's not a big deal because it doesn't make any difference.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed your thing is always to not have any reaction or not to give people like a sense of power. Because honestly, like, I think I kind of stopped gaming as much as I used to. Like, the problem these guys were saying, I was like, yeah, I used to do all of that, but I think I got so focused on other things and like trying to build up my skills to leave that I kind of stopped going out or stopped gaming to the level. And I kind of started to think that, yeah, even as a photographer, I didn't want to become like my content to be offensive or to post too many girls. Like, you know what I mean? So like listening to what you're saying, I can understand now.
Yeah. Like the problem is like, it goes back, the John Alley conversation we had earlier is a perfect example. You do something that empirically I know works and I show you that it works, but when you do it, everyone tells you you shouldn't do it and that it doesn't work, but you keep seeing it work. And then what you come to the realization is that there's a disparity. It's very similar. Have you guys seen all these people like the people who are going after Andrew Huberman? Do you know who they are? They're fat people that feel shamed by his advice. A lot of them are super unhealthy. Andrew Huberman gets people healthy. Look at the people who criticize him. All of them are unhealthy. Of course. Again, guys, people are not going to complain. If it was true that I was actually 5'6", maybe I'd be bitch and I was lying to you guys and saying I was 6'1", then I'd be bitching about it all the time. But I'm not. I don't care. I love the fact that guys are saying this. It's hilarious that guys are going this far, because the problem is, like, summer's going to come. People are going to come out to the competitions and see. I don't care that anyone knows. The only reason why I care is, like, if you believed that about me and you figured out that was a lie, then what else is a lie? Then do you realize everything else you heard about me is a lie as well? But that doesn't matter, because those people don't really matter that much. But if what they were saying was true, then it would bother me and I'd make a big deal about it. But because what they're saying isn't true, it's not a big deal. Now take that and use it with the ladies that you're talking about. They have a problem with what I'm saying. If what I was saying had no effect and wasn't true, they wouldn't have a problem with it. And if they thought that I was deliberately lying, well, then the proof would be in the pudding and my coaching program wouldn't work. But it does, because what I say is true. And again, that's why they have a problem with it. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense, bro. Makes sense. Yeah, all right, that's it. I got no more questions.
Beautiful. John, what's your question, man?
Hey Mike, if I send a link to some pre-selection photos, can you give me some feedback on them?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you just
Like just
write
here.
me on IG. Just write me on IG. Or you want to do it now? Why don't we do it on Instagram later?
Well, I'm
You want
happy
me
to do it now if you're okay with it.
Hold on. Oh, these are on a drive. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this offline. Do you have any calls with me set up?
No, I don't. That's all right. Don't worry about it.
Maybe there's like a few of them, but like make sure you're all looking in the same direction. Like I'll just show you guys right here. Like I don't care who tells you what. This is a great photo right here. You guys all see this? How you guys are all looking away? That is a great. The girl's smiling. I don't care who tells you what about pre-selection, whatever the fuck. That is a great photo. I'm right. Whoever tells you that it's not a great photo is just fucking wrong. That's good. This is pretty good too. So see here, see how she like barely looks like she's into it? That's not compliance. You see how her hips are turned straight towards the front? That's not compliance. I wouldn't like that. This is great. This is great right here. See that?
Yeah.
See how a girl in the red has her hips turned away from you? Not good. And see how, like, yeah, this one maybe not so much. Sound good?
Why is that? Why that one? Not so
She's well, I mean, it's not bad. It just doesn't look like she's touching you or there's any like affection, or it just looks like you're taking a photo on there. Like, they need to seem excited to see you. This girl in the yellow seems excited to see you. This girl in the black does not.
Oh, okay.
Right. My friend was explaining this to me. He's like 2 eyes and 1 ear. That's the best way. People look better when it's below their eye level and it's 2 eyes and 1 ear. That's the best way to shoot someone. Makes sense? So I definitely would post it. I'd post this one tomorrow.
Are there any other ones that are postable there, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, this one's weird. I don't know. Not these two. Probably this one. Definitely this one in the yellow. Not these two with the girl in the black. Probably not this one. Maybe this one. Definitely not this one. You two are not looking at the same camera. And probably this one.
Okay, perfect.
Sound good?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike. Yeah.
Remember, the answer is compliance.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So let's say you find a girl for a long-term dating, like who's less likely to cheat. So how do you go about finding a girl, how many sexual partners that girl's
Yeah, what a great question, right? There's no real way to do it, but here's what I would do, John. I would read the Book of Numbers by Aaron Clary, because he goes into this concept like, you guys understand, if a girl, I'm going to tell you some crazy ones. There's some studies that show if a woman listens to hip hop, she's more likely to have sex at a younger age. There's some studies that show if a woman drinks, the likelihood of her having sex, like casual sex, is like outrageously higher. Like drug use, it's outrageously higher. More than 4 tattoos, he was saying, like, is a signal of a mental disorder. That's what Aaron Clary was saying. That's not what I'm saying. But there's just certain things. For me, John, the main thing would be stimulus. If she lives a life with a ton of stimulus, I'm just going to assume, because that's what it is. Like every sexual partner is additional stimulus. This is just a different type of stimulus. Make sense?
If they have IG, then they've got tons of stimulus, and that.
Yeah, but some more than others. Like if their IG is private jet in Dubai, in Monaco, that's so much stimulus. She didn't pay for that private jet. It's so much stimulus. That from that when I'm saying she's not stimulus to you, she's receiving a ton of stimulus. Does that make sense?
But
If
loads
all
of
of her
girls
photos
receive
are
tons
she's
of-
working out and taking care of her dog, then that's way less stimulus.
You mean it's what they accept to be, because every girl would probably get invited to Dubai, but it depends whether they accept it or
No,
not.
they
right?
won't. They won't. They won't though, John. They won't. You have to put yourself out there a little bit. Oh, they won't. They'll get invited to some things, but they won't get invited to a lot. Who are they following? Are they if they're following? You see them nothing but basketball players and rappers. That means they're accepting massive amounts of stimulus, and they're just going to be harder to deal with. Because you're
Right.
never like body counting. You're never really going to know, but you can actually look at the stimulus thing.
Interesting. Okay. Got it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Gabe, what's your question?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I got a question. What's like the best way to vent out on a wingman so all your guy friends will not be chasing out the same girl that you have a crush on?
You want to keep them from chasing the girl you have a crush on?
Pretty much, yeah. Because I
Gabe,
always
are you in MOA?
I'm in the free server one.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think you were. Yeah, Gabe, you take your credit card and you charge it to the game. There's no way to stop your guy friends are going to go after whoever they want to go after. If your girl like the answer, Gabe, is to have better game than your guy friends.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to stop. Like the moment you say, "Hey, don't talk to Johnny," he's kind of a player. If you try to like talk to the girl you have a crush on and you hate on your guy friends, that girl is only going to think you have a micro penis and they have huge cocks, and that's why you're fucking afraid of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're never ever a player hater. You just the answer is to have better game and to also have like 9 other girls that you shouldn't also. The very fact that you're on a call right now where there's going to be thousands of people watching us and you're talking about one girl you have a crush on, that's actually the problem, not your guy friends trying to go after her.
Mm-hmm. No, because like I always have like a set of rules for myself, and whenever a guy has like a crush on some other girl, and me and him are crushing it, the first thing I always do, I always back up, I always let him take the approach or the initiative.
I mean, you can live in that world and hope that happens. You come out here to Vegas and see how that works for you. There are guys out here who are friends of mine that if me and my girlfriend broke up would hit on her in 2 fucking seconds.
Yeah, and there's like another question for that too, because I saw a video of Dan Brazilian saying whenever a girl does go out, she has to police her shit. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. Like again, what that means is you're in your right mind. There's a reason why, you can't give consent if you're above the legal limit. You're not in your right mind. Like you can take girls who are good girls who would never cheat on their boyfriends. And if the party is long enough and there's enough Coke and Molly and there's enough fucking alcohol, crazy shit happens, Gabe. It's bad. It's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's a bad thing that happens. So you need to police yourself. Does your girl, if she's going out somewhere, does she need to go to the party and then the after party and then the after party without her boyfriend? There's actually a message she's sending before she may or may not cheat on you at the after party. Why is she at the after party without you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess she just wanted to have fun or something like that.
Yeah, but not, you don't go to an after party to have fun. You go to after party to do drugs and then to possibly have sex.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Yes. And I got one more question. Is it best to have 2 Instagrams, one for real estate and one for pleasure?
I don't like that. No, I've seen a lot of people with one where they sell real estate does really well. I'm usually a big fan of the one Instagram policy.
One Instagram policy? Okay, gotcha. Well, that's pretty much it. That's it.
I would have a backup Instagram in case somebody comes hating on you. Like it's okay to have 2 good Instagrams though. That's fine.
Okay.
Too. John Hill, what's your question, John Hill? John, got to unmute yourself.
Okay, hold on. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Sure can.
So a couple questions. One was I jumped on a link from the Telegram from Ice White, so I didn't know and I put it in the chats, but I wanted to check out the MOA. program you guys were talking about. I'm kind of new to you. I haven't I'm introduced to you first time today. But in regards to game, my question I have is that there's been different theories and I field tested a lot, but I don't have time to go out a lot and Sarge code approach a lot, so I'm doing it online. And I want to know what your thoughts in regards to like what's kind of like a good framework, like shit. And the question I'm getting to, which is, should I like I'll meet these girls, I'll chat back and forth, we'll be okay, and then like I'll try to schedule like a phone call, do like a 10-15 minute phone call with some of the girls, or I'll try to schedule like a meet coffee at Starbucks meetup or stuff like that. What's your thoughts in regards to getting the time frame? Because if I do too soon, then it seems to not work. If I wait, like sometimes I'm talking to a girl for like a week or a week and a half, and some of these girls have busy schedules. They're career women. So what's kind of like a framework I should do or strategy?
Yeah, John, it feels like your whole mentality is kind of like backwards in sort of like 2012 pickup mindset. Anybody who's in MOA want to comment on this? I want to let some of the other guys. I made some of you. I made all the MOA guys co-host. If any of you guys want to pipe up, meaning like Luke, Ty, any of you guys, what do you think about this situation? He doesn't have enough time to go out and cold approach. And where are you meeting these girls from?
Like Bumble, dating apps, stuff like that. Facebook, dating, Bumble. I'm doing right now. I did Match for a while back, but
before I get into this, guys, does anybody else want to step in here and talk about this before I do?
Yeah, bro. All right. So your method of online, it's not scalable. You're basically in a place where there are 80% dudes and 20% girls. And in order to compete there, your profile needs to be 9 out of 10. So unless you look like Austin Dunham or you're paying $2,000 for like a photo shoot to make you look like an Instagram model, you're not going to do good. So what you're going to want to do is fix your Instagram first. So your Instagram, bro, is your scalable way of meeting people. If you know how sales works, your Instagram is going to be the sales funnel that brings girls into your life and allows other women to see the cool lifestyle you're living and other guys to see what you're doing so they can invite you to their cool events. So are you on the free school server, the MOA members? Yes or no?
No, I haven't heard about it. First time I met you guys today.
Sweet, cool. I'm gonna walk, guys. If someone has the link to that and can drop in the chat so they can join, that'd be great. Awesome. Ty just said that right now. Join that server. There are I don't know, like 300 to 600 other guys that all do social circle.
3,300 or 3,300.
Fucking ginormous. Yeah. But it's a community of guys that aren't just applying theory, but they're going out and taking action. What you said in your statement, bro, is I've been reading a ton of theory. Pickup is a lot of guys that go out, talk to 5s, say they talk to 9s on forums, and then like brag about it for like external validation. That's kind of what pickup is. Men of action is men of action. We go out and we take action. We go out and we take good photos. So our Instagram is fixed. We go out and we do events so that we meet other high status desirable women, and we use those women to network with other women. Therefore, our lives improve, and it's scalable through Instagram, as opposed to going out every single night with your drunk buddy in a button-up t-shirt, starting from zero every single night, trying to talk to random 5s and 6s at your local bar. That's not scalable. That's not preferable. The reason guys in this program have the life that we have is because we use Michael's systems to get a scalable social circle. So the best place for you to start, my friend, go to that, the whatever link Ty dropped in the chat, 6,000 members there. Search testimonials. There's a link to all the Instagram testimonials for all the guys that have been successful in MOA and all the coaches. See what they look like and find a place in your city.
I'm in Vegas.
Find someone that's, bro, easy. Dude, literally, message either Casey Hershog. Someone could drop his name in the chat. He essentially helps people in Vegas get photos in the high status places.
Okay,
there
good.
are a lot of places in Vegas that you can get cool photos in. And my guess, my friend, is how often do you go to the gym?
About 4 times a week.
You go to the gym 4 times a week?
About 4 times a week, yeah, after work.
Okay. What are you doing at the gym, bro?
I'm doing a Serious Growth, which was a program developed by the Bulgarians years ago. So it's like a
But the reason I'm asking is you don't look like you at the gym. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
may
yeah,
be a powerlifter, but
I've been.
You want to have your shoulders be wider than your hips. You look like you have a powerlifter physique. When you're in photos, you want your outfits to taper on your body well. So when you're doing photos, I want to wear things that have your stomach stick out, wear suits, blazers, etc., that make your stomach look good.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of examples of this on the server. So go on the server, look at the testimonials, and go from there. That'd be my advice from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I'm checking it out right now. The school.com. All right, cool. Yeah, because I'm in Vegas and I go out. It was last summer. I used to go out. We do like a day game, and we go out and do approach and stuff like that. But I work graveyard at one of the casinos as a butler, so I at night is when I do a lot of the online thing. So yeah, I'm old school, so I'm not used to doing the Instagram thing, and I know I need to step up in that realm. So yeah, my Instagram is like 1 picture on it or 2 pictures, like, so I just use it to communicate with people. So yeah, I'll click the link that you mentioned earlier for the Instagram, because yeah, it'd be good for me to hire someone to help me, figure out like how to do the profile and stuff like that. But yeah, I wanted to, and you answered some of my questions, all of them pretty much. I didn't know what what I seen things that in online dating, and you kind of validated, which is I thought, man, there must be like a lot of fucking dudes. Like when I used to do it back in the day, because I lived in the Philippines for almost like 15 years, and I just got back a few years ago. So I came back and I was like, whoa, it's way different here. I'm wondering if like it's like 8 to 10, eight guys for every 2 women and stuff like that.
John, have you ever matched with a girl on these dating apps is really hot, and then she tries to get you to hit her up on OnlyFans? Has that ever happened?
No, I wouldn't say that have happened. I mean, I met girls in Vegas that are like hookers that but they're not trying to get me
apps. You're right swiping on dating apps, and then you match with a girl who's really hot.
Yeah.
And then you message her back and forth, and she doesn't want to meet up, but she wants you to go on her OF. Have you ever seen that happen?
I wouldn't say no.
Okay.
I don't think I
All right.
have.
Cool. Just checking. All right. Beautiful. John, to answer your question, I just go and check out the first 4 steps of MOA.
Okay. Thank you, boss.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
It's in that link I gave you. Awesome.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, brother, go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, Michael, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, cool. So I got kind of one question and one statement. The one question is is there anybody here and so hold up, I'm kind of nervous. First time speaking to you. Is there anybody here that's in MOA? I have a question for them.
Yeah, guys, if you're in MOA, put a 1 in the chat.
What up, bro?
What's up? So my first question is, what's something in MOA that you wish Michael would teach more or hasn't taught yet that you would prefer he teach?
Maybe more finances, but he just gives you a link to Tasty Trade. Like anything that I want Michael to teach more of, he provides resources for us to find that on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Men of Action is all about building a social circle and everything you could want to learn about that and networking. I mean, it's all there. And like Luke was saying, if there's something else, like maybe as a different guest on a podcast that's a little bit outside of what he specializes in, like he gives the resources to send people on their way to learn about that.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, if there's not something specific in the course that Mike teaches, you come on these calls and you ask him, and he probably has a good answer for you. So there's not really any part of the course that doesn't satisfy what you want to satisfy.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Another question?
One other question. That's kind of like a statement-ish. So I'm in the free school server, right?
Yeah.
And I have no right to like ask this, Michael, but is there possible that you could maybe kind of like almost marketing, but somebody in the school server, maybe handpick somebody or do a raffle where you take somebody from this free school server and add them in MOA for like a month or like 30 days or something?
Because it takes longer than that because there's an onboarding process that goes on. And it takes longer than that. So what you're saying is, have like a lottery to let one guy into MOA for free. The reason why we don't do that is because we give you thousands of hours of content for free in the free school server. If that content is what you want, and by the way, if you just do the first 4 steps, you're going to see amazing results, then you should want to join the program. But we have over 100 testimonials. Oh, I want to make an announcement. Totally forgot. 1,481 clients through MOA. So we're about to hit 1,500 clients. I didn't know we broke 1,000. We were going to have a party at 1,000, but we're at 1,481 guys that have joined the program since we started. So it's just been huge. But as far as the free group though, it's 3,300 guys that are in the free group, the free forum, and there's a ton. Like it would take you about a month, Jonelle, to go through every single thing in the free group. So I would do that first. Okay.
Okay. One last thing. Is there anybody in MOA right now that's in like the Northeast or like Boston area?
Yeah, I mean,
bro.
Luke, yeah, there's a ton of guys in Boston.
Okay, cool. Can you like put your like IG in the chat or something? Okay, cool.
Yeah, and one other thing, bro. What action have you taken so far from being in the free school group?
So I fixed my IG. That's as far as I went. I fixed my IG.
Have you had someone check it?
No, I haven't had nobody check it yet. No.
So you haven't fixed it yet?
Well, I have fixed it, but I just haven't had anybody, because I'm not in the free school server that much. But I've been in there asking questions like, hey, how do you do this? What's a good camera to use? What's a good phone to take pictures or whatever? And I fixed my IG, but I haven't had somebody go in and check it myself, or that for them to check it for me.
Okay.
Cool.
I think you should do that next. You got a lot of steps to go through.
Yeah.
And also with your first question, the course has 114 modules. There's very little that they want me to coach more on. They're sending me by the end.
Okay, got it. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. Just make a post in the free school group with your IG, ask for feedback, and someone that's in the group will give you feedback on it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there you
go. Guys, here's me. Here's me. I just posted it in the chat. This is me doing the dating show where I'm doing a speed dating show. I put it in. Let's put it in the chat here also. If you guys are interested in watching that, this is me giving a guy advice. If you want to see more content like that, I'll make more content with I Am Thompson, where I gave this guy a bunch of advice. Bilzerian watched it. He was pretty impressed. He thought it was some really good advice. He and I are on the same page on a lot of things when it comes to that. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. I've been trying to get a bunch of people to push them towards that thing, and then you guys tell me if you want more content. It's a speed dating show. Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Michael, what's your question?
Hey, thank you for taking my question. I've been following your content for a little while now. I've been out of dating for a while. Just got completely fed up with it. Needed to focus on myself. But one thing I've run into is what advice, or the big question I have is, what advice would you give somebody who has like a disability? My hand is not the same as most people.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always seen. Like I've seen things like, oh, you got to look good and you work out and whatnot. But I have some disadvantages in that aspect. So what advice would you say in that respect?
I mean, it's going to be, I'm not going to tell you it's not going to be hard, but I would still be a social leader. I would still still try to be the one who leads a group. I don't think, I really don't feel like people are going to, judge you that harshly by it if you are still the social leader. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would still do all the other things we talk about in the program. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing is that you could play it up, bro. Like you could actually have some kind of prosthetic that's like fucking cool as shit. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You could have some like fucking awesome prosthetic that is just like a party thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I mean, I would play it up, dude. If I was missing a leg and I had to get one of those like those things on it, I'd be like some fucking crazy ass color, or it'd be, it would be like camouflage or something to that effect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
That's what I would do. I would like literally not, I would just play it up. I just wouldn't. The thing is, Michael, as long as it doesn't affect you, it's not going to affect them. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's nothing stopping you from being the person everyone meets their girlfriend through, everyone meets their boyfriend through, everyone gets their job through, everyone finds their employees through, everyone finds their sponsors through, everyone gets their book recommendations through. There's nothing to stop you from doing that, Michael. There's nothing to
Right
stop
on.
you from being the social leader. There's also nothing like your lighting is not great right now with your with the way your thing is set up. There's nothing to stop you from getting better lighting, to have better stuff going on when you're talking on camera. There's nothing to stop you from maybe trimming your beard up and getting a haircut in a certain way that just makes you a little bit more stylish. There's nothing to stop you from any of that.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Hey man, I appreciate you. Thanks for calling me, Michael here. Toyin, what's your question? And hold on, Toyin. Unmute yourself.
Hey, Michael, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Good to see you. I had questions about compliance and attention. Yeah. So you mentioned on a recent interview about distinguishing between the two. So if a woman gives you a good morning text or hey, how's it going text, is that, and you respond back, is that good? Is that
No, there's nothing wrong with doing that. The problem is when you confuse that for attraction. Okay?
Yeah.
Attention can mean attraction, but it doesn't have to mean attraction. Compliance almost always does.
So, I mean, what about a woman sending you what about a woman just sending you a picture of herself? Like, is that
again? She could send that to several other people. Remember, attention is above the belly button. Compliance is below the belly button. She comes to your place. That means she has to walk. That's her below her belly button. That's compliance. She sends you pictures of herself. That means that she's just using her thumbs. That's above the belly button, and so that's just attention. Attention can mean she likes you. Compliance often means she likes you. Attention often, more often than not, does not mean anything. And the reason why you know this, when we asked the group of girls there, how many of you guys have gone on a date with someone you knew you weren't going to have sex with, and every one of them raised their hand.
Can you give some more examples of below the belly button?
Yeah. Hey, I can't hear you real well. Let's move over to the different side of the bar. Hey, come with me and to meet my friends. Hey, let's go to the bathroom together. Awesome. I'm going to leave here in a little bit. Do you want to go get something to eat afterwards? Cool. Let's meet up. Do you want to, I'm going with a bunch of my friends, this awesome dinner. We're going to this cool restaurant. Do you want to come with me? We're going to go to Area 15. Can you meet me at this time? These are things where you ask for compliance. When she shows up, that's her body walking to you. That's compliance. Got it?
Got it. And one more question. I think you also said that there are times where you shouldn't respond to a text if it is.
Yeah. So when it's bullshit, like when it's like she made plans to hang out with you, and then last second she's like either, oh gosh, I forgot we had plans tonight, or oh, can we do this some other night? I either like you'll heart that or I won't even respond. Because often girls will break up plans with you, and then they're just looking to see what your reaction is.
Yes.
And if your reaction is cool, like whenever, again, if a girl, back when I was single, if a girl ever broke plans with me, I would just post a bunch of pictures of me having a fucking blast. And not even like, and whatever I do, I don't look at any of her stories, and she can watch mine. Like, it's always the way I'm at.
Okay.
Okay.
That's thank you so much.
Though. It's when someone's like overtly disrespectful, then I wouldn't respond. Covertly disrespectful, then I wouldn't respond. That's the only time. By the way, same thing for guys. I've had guys do this before, where they'll like, last second can't come on my show or some shit like that, whatever. And I can tell they're being, or like I ask them for testimonials and they never give them to me. When you do stuff like that, I just don't write long explanations. You don't need to. Well, there's one thing you guys need to understand. Like, there are very few people in your life you should have to explain yourself to. Okay. People you owe money, people in your family, your spouse or girlfriend, you can explain yourself to them. Other people, you guys need to stop explaining yourselves to them. They don't deserve an explanation. Okay?
Thank you for clearing that up, Mike. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. Beautiful. Nick, what's your question? Nick, you got to unmute yourself. Nick, start talking.
Hey, hello.
Yep. What's going on, Nick?
I'm just gonna turn the Bluetooth off.
What's going on, Nick? Go ahead and start talking. All right. It looks like we've lost Nick's audio there. Nick, unmute yourself.
All right, I'm hitting unmute. Is it working?
Yeah, you're unmute right now. So talk right now. Don't touch anything else. Just go ahead and ask your question. And you muted yourself again, Nick. You got to stop doing that. One more time. Unmute yourself. Don't touch mute again. Talk. Talk now. 1, 2, 3, talk.
All right.
Don't touch anything.
All right. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just kind of looking to leverage my IG a little bit more. Is it working?
You're on mute right now. So talk right now. Don't
Yeah. So
so you got to turn the audio off. This is so crazy. All right, Nick, keep going. Keep going.
you know, I'm just gonna call in on my computer. I'm just gonna try to. I'm on my phone. I'm just gonna try to switch a different to Zoom.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, Nick, are you related to the Nick Bell that went to Iowa?
No. I know exactly what you're talking about, but that's not me.
Okay, sounds good. It's spelled a little different too. Okay,
All right,
any
I'm
other
gonna
questions? Okay, cool. Anybody else have any other questions? Cool. I'll let you guys know a couple things that are going on. I'll get to John here in 1 second. On the 18th, we're doing halfway to Halloween in Los Angeles. On the 20th is going to be the Bunny Ball. We're going to be collecting stuffed animals for children at the Bunny Ball in San Diego on the 20th. And then the 18th of May is going to be
Mike, your audio is low.
Really? Man, what the fuck? Stand by. Check. Can you hear me better now?
Good.
Way better.
That's better. Okay, cool. That's it. So the 18th of May, we're going to be doing Babes in Toyland in Miami. And also in the beginning of May, I'm going to be in New York for a week, and I'm not exactly sure when. The whole week of I'm going to be in Miami. I'm going to be doing a bunch of podcasts there. So that's the plan coming up. Let's get to John. That's what we have coming up in the future. For those of you who are not in the free school group, by the way, if you're not in the free school group, could you put a 1 in the chat if you're not in the free school group? Anybody? Anybody who's not in the free school group. Also, you guys on YouTube. Real quick, let me read off the super chats real quick. K-Dog, where do I find the link to hop on the Zoom call? I put that in the Zoom call. It's up at the top. You need to join the free school group, K-Dog. And then Siege D did 201 straight walking lunges, then walked home. That's pretty funny, dude. That's pretty funny. Thanks for being a moderator for us. All right, beautiful, cool. Anybody else? Good. All right, John, what's your question?
My question is, why is it that 85% of subscribers on OnlyFans are married men, and would their wives
Is it 85? I heard it was 90 the other day. So it's 85 now?
That's what I saw. And
yeah, I saw that too, man. I really need that substantiated. I don't want to run with that fucking stat. That sounds like a crazy stat. Even if it was 50%, that's a crazy stat. I mean, it's because men, there's a lot of, again, the institution of marriage overall in recent years has not been successful. You have men who are in sexless marriages, and then women who want divorce. That's what we've been seeing. If 70% of divorces are initiated by women, I mean, I was listening to James Sexton say half of the people who remain married are unhappy. So that would actually make sense why so many married men would be on OnlyFans. But the 90%, that's crazy to me. That is fucking crazy to me.
Do you
so
think
I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think that the wives would divorce them if they found out they were all they were
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be different. Like again, this is just me if I'm a woman. I don't know. Like if my husband was just watching hardcore porn with women he never met, and it was just like a fantasy he was living out, and even one of the girls looked like me, his wife, I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't care at all. Honey, yeah, you're going on a business trip, whatever. But if your husband is like writing back and forth with a girl on OF, like trying to have like a pseudo fake relationship, not only is your husband cheating, he's fucking stupid. He's fucking stupider than shit. Are you kidding? Like, no, guys, for some of you guys, this may be the first time you've ever heard this. Some of you have subscribed to OnlyFans before. When you subscribe to an OnlyFans, you were talking to a girl, the person, you think that person was the girl. It's never the girl you're talking to. It is an account manager in the Philippines who is sitting there, and they're being paid 50 cents of whatever in order to answer all your messages. It's never, the girl has 50,000 subscribers. She can't answer all her messages. Be smarter. Be smarter, guys. They're just trying to upsell you. If I had my husband and he was doing that, I'd be like, not only am I upset that you're trying to get an emotional connection with some other woman, you're stupid enough to think you're actually doing it. I don't want children with you. I don't want my children to be also stupid. That's what I would think.
So they're basically unhappy in their marriage, and that is why.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. But but the thing about it is it's the exclusive, it's the what's it called? The bespoke nature of it. It's like you're having what seems like a very intrusive girlfriend experience with a particular girl who has a personality that you kind of like get to know, but really they're all just actresses. They're just it's just a different form of acting. I'll spill the beans. Nara Ford, the whole time when she was like, yeah, I fuck with different people she was just having sex with her boyfriend. Nara Ford didn't have sex with anyone but her boyfriend. It was just one dude in every video. But she would front like it was a different guy. It was one guy in every video. Same thing with a girl, Amber, who was on my show. She's like, there's the fucking cable guy and the plumber and the pizza delivery guy, but they're really all the same guy. And she's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. They're not all the same guy. But it's the same guy. It is the same guy. It was her boyfriend. In fact, I know who the dude was. And so it's just one of these things where, what was the original question? Oh, with the OnlyFans? With the OnlyFans thing, it's like these girls are actresses. They're acting. They're providing you stimulus to believe that you're getting some. It was really funny when I was working at a strip club. Some of the girls who made the most money were like a little bit overweight and worked day shift. And I was like, how are these girls making so much money? And then I realized because these women look like these men's wives, slightly overweight, pretty, but not that pretty. And they're really fucking nice to these men. And these men probably don't get any peace at home. And that's why they're there. That's what I think is going on. That's what I think is going on. Yep.
Smith.
Awesome. All right, let's try this again. Craig, what's your question?
Hey, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Look, I've been obviously, I'm divorced, so the stuff that you're talking about, I actually have a bit of a perspective of it. Just trying to develop myself. I have no social media. It didn't exist when I got married, more or less, quite a few years ago. Got kids and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just trying to redevelop myself. I found very helpful both you, Rollo, gone through a lot of Rollo's books and some of the other stuff. So more or less just some suggestions with some other additional books to assist with like development and that.
You want other books to read?
Yeah, I try to get as many as I can off of your podcast. I see the ones in the background. Try and put as many as I can in the Audible and read at least a couple.
Can you do me a favor? Can you join the free school server and just look up book list?
Okay, yeah, not a problem. And I've also got a one-on-one with one of your guys on Thursday.
Yeah.
So
there's 30 required books when you join the course. Yeah, guys, I make you work. Yeah, there's 30 required books. And you can have the books for free.
That's good. I want them. I want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let me know after you get through all 30 what you think, because everybody who gets through all 30 is like, that was life-changing.
Yeah, well, I know Rollo's books. I'm up to the fourth one now, and they've put a lot of perspective because I'm late 30s, almost 40. So like the dating scene now is very, very different. Like I've been married since I've been out of the dating market since 2010. Married like 2014, got 3 kids and all that sort of stuff. So what you've said and how you're talking about the, you know, the things that people go through with the unhappiness of the marriage and all that. I left my wife because of the respect thing. And what you've said is actually very true and resonating because, you know, once there's no respect from a woman, that's where everything sort of goes right down.
It does.
So, yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Let's do Nick Bell. Nick, let's try it one more time. What's the question? Hi, guys. Nick, you got it. Sorry. Hold on. Let's unmute.
All right.
Go ahead, Nick. Try it again. You got it. Okay, beautiful. Nick, go ahead. What's your question?
All right. I appreciate it. So I do like acting and bartending. I'm looking to leverage my IG a little bit more. I realize that you talk about that in the free school course, so I'm definitely going to check that out in a little bit.
Please.
But how do I mean, I just usually not like someone who likes to post a lot. I'm trying to use my stories more. And I feel like when I am doing cool shit, I don't ever think to pull out my phone and like post about stuff.
It's just something you got to change. Well, people
Yeah.
who are overweight and out of shape don't think to go to the gym. Like you just have to change that mentality. You have to change the way that programming is in your head. You have to just again, like when we were all like enjoying the experience yesterday, a great example is this. Yesterday, we were all enjoying the experience playing paintball over at Dan's house. Me and what's his face? Lynn Oding. Lynn is he's a director. He's a Hollywood director. We were taking photos and videos, and no one was thinking to do it. At the end of the deal, everyone was asking us for the photos and videos because we were in the moment. It might not feel organic, but afterwards, everyone wants the photos and the videos. Does that make sense, Nick?
Right. No, it's exactly.
So you have to change your mentality. You just have to again. How do I make myself do more bench press? I just go to the gym and do bench press. There's no trick to it.
Okay, I heard.
Yeah.
Should I be, and I'm sure like it's in the book too, so I'll look. But like, do you have tips for like leveraging like stories versus like story highlights? What kind of things should be going on the grid versus not? Like,
you should look at the other. There's 30 other. There's 50 other Instagram testimonials. Will you go look at those?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Nick, I need you to go on the free school server, and then I want you to look at the 50 other Instagram testimonials, and then that will show you what it should look like. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
And just kind of just change the mindset about it.
You're gonna go in there, and you can go in there. You're gonna type in Instagram testimonials, and you'll see 50 Instagram testimonials. They just put it right there, and there's the book list. Got it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I got to get out of here. Last one, Zoom user. What's your question?
Hey,
Hello?
hey, Michael. Yeah, you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I got a call with you tomorrow. I just want to ask, what should I expect for tomorrow's call, and what kind of questions?
Is it with me or is it with me or with an onboarding coach?
With you.
Okay. Just nothing. Just have your questions ready for me.
Okay.
There's not going to be any small talk. We're going to get right into your questions immediately. Okay.
Okay. All right, cool. That's it.
Sound good? Awesome. Guys, I will see all of you in MOA in 24 hours. For those of you who have not joined the school server, please join the school server now. We look forward to seeing you. Like I said, we got a bunch of incredible events coming up in the next couple of weeks. Access Vegas this week. We're going to surprise Rollo. It's his birthday. And then there won't be one the following week because there's the 24-hour live stream at Sticky Paws. And then we'll have one the following week. And then after that, we probably won't have one because I'll be in New York. I'm excited to see you guys. Thank you for joining us on the free call. If you're interested in joining Men of Action, please go to MOA Mentoring.com. If you guys are interested in joining it, it's right there at the bottom. And